eyes at this point in time in our society,
It's a baby boy.
we have seen a type of destruction in this country that we have never seen before.
Little baby.
You want to tell me, ladies and gentlemen, a 2-year-old child,
Yes.
whether there's grievances, whether you don't talk to the parents, whether you and the parents not going down, whether you don't like the parent, whether whatever
What?
the situation may be,
Yes.
how could you? How could you?
Boy.
What kind of hard people have in this country? Or for a better word, it seems as though that people heart gone out cocky.
Yes, boy.
Like their heart gone for a break in this country, boy.
You understand that?
But you see, let me tell you something, eh? Wrongdoing is wrongdoing despite
Yeah.
what level or what category it may fall in. And I cannot see, and Jacob, I comment to you next, because I cannot see with the resources that we have in this country
Yeah.
that to find a baby that gone missing,
Yeah.
that walk down the road according to the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot see how come in this country that limited resources
Yeah.
would be placed on a serious effort like this.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But I wait.
Baby.
I have my suspicions from day one with the contradiction of individuals in relation to stories. You hear one story on this interview, the same person give a next story on that interview, and then a third story on another interview. And I tell my daughters, I say, let's wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I tell them, Corky,
Yeah.
I say, see, that 2-year-old,
Yeah.
at that 2-year-old, it will be a tragic result. Because, Corky, how far a 2-year-old will walk away? How far?
Without someone seeing them. Huh?
Not only that, how far a 2-year-old baby will walk away, Corky?
That's it.
A little baby, Corky, 2-year will walk out the road, walk around the road. And as soon as they see some fowl or dog or something, they head in the next direction. Speed back where they come out.
Yeah.
You understand? But nevertheless, let's see what this investigation would unfold. And this is the sad reality in our country. We will continue to lose our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our cousins, our aunts, our nenen in this country. Because when we have a government
Yes.
who does not respect law and order, what would you leave for the rest of the citizenry? What would you leave for the children who are searching for mentors? What would you leave for the schools?
Yeah.
What would you leave?
Absolutely nothing.
It's absolutely mayhem and chaos in our society. That is what it is. It's nothing else. It is mayhem, chaos, and every day that passes, there will be more and more chaotic scene. There will be more and more tears. There will be more and more blood that is shed. There will be more and more violence. There will be more and more killing. There will be more and more robbery. There will be more and more break-ins. There will be more and more everything.
Yeah. People getting murdered.
Because our government have no respect for law and order. I am really sorry for the people in point. As a parent,
Yeah.
I could never fully understand what you guys, the pain that you will be feeling. I can only imagine. I could only stretch my imagination as far as to try to understand the depths of what you may feel. But to the end of the day, it's a child, and we as adults, we ought to look after our children. We have seen a report, the leader of the opposition spoke about it on the Monday Night Forum last night, as
Yes.
well as other speakers. And we have seen a report for over 5-6 months, a report that showed clearly that there were abuse, there were murder, there were mayhem.
Yes.
And to the end of the day, this report was just sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
Ayanna Webster Roy, just sitting on a shelf. And what is even more sad about that, my brother, is that this Ayanna is in the not in the ministry, but she is also sitting within the Prime Minister office. And you will want to believe, Corky, that seeing a report of this magnitude, of this type of violence against children, you will think that an individual who ought to understand what is motherhood, a lady who holds that ministry, will move quickly to get into that situation, to fix that problem, so that our children can have the opportunity to be safe. And this is the sad reality about things, my brother. The sad reality is that we have a government who continue to break the law, who continue to neglect the children of this country. We have seen all different type of chaotic behavior within our schools, within the public domain, within the bus terminus. I have saw some elderly folks in San Fernando Hub waiting to get a bus. And I am telling you, Corky, it seems as though that these people, I really don't know. I don't know. But I cannot, for all the love, I cannot imagine who will want to hurt a 2-year-old child, despite what is the situation between your neighbor, between your... But Corky, and that is the sad reality. That is the sad reality. I want to say welcome to my friend. I promised that we would bring him back today, Tuesday.
Yes.
And today he is with us. I know for a fact that he interfere with your thought pattern, with the information that he has brought in relation to the Ministry of Agriculture. He is a former councillor. He is also sitting on the board of the Trinidad and Tobago Agriculture Society. He is well knowledgeable in the field, and he have performed. I have asked a number of questions in those to people, my friends in the St. Joseph area, and they are saying that this man, that he has done a wonderful job at the time when he was sitting as a councillor. And I don't know if I should say it now, but the people in St. Joseph, they are also prepared to lobby for him to return at some point in time to bring that level of representation that he has brought in the past. Added to that, I know that he's also working with none other than the douglAR boss. Well, Cocky, you know who's the douglAR boss, right? Right. He's working with the Honorable Senator within the St. Joseph area. I know that there's a Dongpak team up in that area. And if they feel for 1 minute that team wouldn't be coming to Library, they better think again. Yeah, that team will be coming to Library at some point in time. So I will ask him to say good afternoon to you folks. And just before he do that, we're just having a discussion about the 2-year-old in Point 14 that went missing and now found in the Guapo River dead. So I will allow him to say a few words to you, and then we'll get right back into today's proceedings.
Well, I just want to say good afternoon to you, my good friend Victor Roberts.
Corky D.
Right? I got to call you Corky, but then I say, no, you're not Corky.
No,
Victor.
But you could call me Corky too, you know, because both of our feather flock together.
Victor, Victor, you have been a soldier for the people, boy. Right? And you have put people first in front of your own welfare, in front of your own children's welfare, at the expense of getting, at the risk of getting arrested. And other action by the state, you have fought and championed the rights of the people. Yeah, Victor. You are a soldier, and I wish I make dua. In Islam we say we make dua to the Almighty Creator. I make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty Creator, bless you and open pathways for you, so that you will become the next MP of Library.
Inshallah.
You understand? And Corky, you have been the man behind the scene, the live wire behind this whole program here. Without your input, this thing wouldn't be possible. So Corky, everybody serves a role. And everybody role, from cleaner to captain to cook, has a role to play. The trick is to gel everybody together to work for the common good. And that is where this government is failing. This government, this part of the society collapsing, that part of the society collapsing, as you rightly stated, Victor, everything is collapsing. And I was now coming up the stairs, and the guy downstairs said, boy, soldier, blaze them, because we need change.
Yeah.
Rowley, his exact words, Rowley don't care about anybody but himself. And that is the plain truth, Trinidad and Tobago. So on that note, I would like to say a very good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, to the thousands and thousands of listeners and viewers outside here. I know this program is not only being viewed locally, but regionally and internationally also, based on some of the feedback I have been getting also, Victor, on this fantastic program, both with you and also Senator Anna Roberts at the helm. I mean, this program is a program for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
You understand? And this is why when I was asked to come and say a few words last week, I had no hesitation. When Mr. Vishnu, the producer, asked me to come and say a few words, I said, Mr. Vishnu, I will take the opportunity and try my best. And I came on, right, because this is as a means of me contributing back to my community and my country.
And we want to make it more and more people friendly. And while it is people friendly, we also want people to know that the truth and the facts hurt at times, Corky, but we cannot dilute it. We have to bring the truth and we have to bring the facts to you, and that is what we will do. I know that on some occasion, some people may have hurt feelings, some people may be angry, but examine what we are saying and see if it's not the truth.
Yes.
And once we are speaking the truth, then we ask you to join with us and support the truth.
Yes.
Because this is what politics have to be. This is what politics must be. It must be about truth, and it must be about people. It must be about you. It must be about the welfare of you. In other words, when you elect someone to represent you, you elect that person to look after your behalf, to look after the interests of your community, to bring policies that will help to develop your children, to bring the best out of your children. Policies as what Kamla Prasad Bisesa has brought to the table during 2010 and 2015. And if Keith Rowley was doing what he's supposed to do, you think we would have been on this radio program today? We would not have been here.
Correct.
We would not have been here. We're not just here to break down and mash up, but we're here to demolish those who continue to demonstrate that high level of onslaught against the people of this country, the people who have elected them. We are here as the demolition hammer. We will break them down, because I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, that the wealth and the resources of the country, it is yours. It belongs to you, the people. A matter of fact, to fix that, it belongs to all of us.
Yes.
But when you have one core section who continue to benefit in every aspect, who live nice, who eat nice, who bathe nice, who sleep nice, who defecate nice, to the end of the day, we going to put an end to that. And that is what we are about. We are about democracy. We are about fairness, justice, equity. That is what we are about. And we ask you to call in. We ask you to make your contribution to help build Trinidad, not to target the messengers. We are here, Safraz, right?
Yeah.
When we are here, Safraz is here, myself, Corky, we are here to bring the facts to you. And we ask you to help us to disseminate the facts where it will reach down. I speak in a language where the dog by the side of the road who barking row, row, row could understand.
Yeah.
I doesn't come to this station with the excellency of words. I don't come here with a language that you can't understand. I bring it to you in the worst language, because that is the language that you understand. When it's time to talk proper, we go do that. When that time reach, we go cross that bridge. But for now, I want the man, Safras, I want the man on the street. I want the man on the ghetto. I want the man on the block. I want the man who believed that 4 trees and 30 grams was a big benefit to him. I want he to understand that if Rowley had intended to bring a benefit to you, then he would have set up laws to bring that cannabis industry in place, not give you 4 trees and 30 grams. And let me tell you how wicked Rowley is. I retract that statement. I retract that. Let me tell you how wicked this government is. You plant your 4 trees.
Yes.
And when it's time to harvest, cut your 4 trees. And let the police catch you carrying your 4 trees home and see if you make a jail for trafficking. You hear what I just say? You're entitled to 4 trees and 30 grams corky. Plant your 4 trees. When it reach the stage, cut it. Cut your 4 trees. Bag it up. And let the police meet you carrying your 4 trees in that bag. And you will see if you ain't make a jail for trafficking.
And they have another part to that. Quietly behind the scene, there's a multi-million dollar company being formed called the West Indian Cannabis Company.
I thought you was going to say West Indian Tobacco Company.
No, West Indian Cannabis Company. And one guess who will be the owners of that company. One guess.
Here again, I guess.
Yeah.
A man of not our color.
A foreigner?
No,
a local,
but not our color.
A locally assembled.
A locally assembled white. If you want to play the
but you're correct. 4 plants as compared to a whole company that go be set up to be processing and refining and making medical grade marijuana available to all pharmacies and the wider Caribbean and you want to wholesale marijuana, you could go in a company, buy it and start a wholesale.
And you know, because of that, when mommy and daddy had them trees in the house, the children go take it and use it too.
Right.
And the place getting crazy.
What Koki was saying is that they even in this now they're taking away from the poor people.
Yeah.
Because the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, stated what? We need to make the rich get richer.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
He said that exact words. That
Let
was
me tell you
his
his exact
speech.
words. He said he have no problem with the rich getting richer. So the poor could benefit from the flow over.
Imagine that. Instead of you
So
trying
you don't want the poor to get have and get.
exactly. Instead
So
of
wait
trying
now.
to make the poor, empower the poor. That is what our government is put there for. To
Right.
empower the poor so that the poor, the majority of the people are poor people.
Right.
Poor people / middle income people. Just a few percentage points will be rich people.
Right.
But our goodly Prime Minister, and I put using the word goodly in inverted commas, stated the other way around. He wants to concentrate his government policies on making the rich get richer. His exact words. So that they can hire more poor people. Instead of, as Koki now stated, instead of the government policies set directly targeting the poor people and making them come out of that poverty cycle, that vicious cycle we call
Yeah.
poverty, where the crime is in that category. The
Oh.
criminals are bred and born in that category. Most of the criminals, they also are the white collar criminals from the middle income and the high income. That's with the fraud and the whatever it is, right? But most of those violent crimes are committed by the poor sections of the society. So to alleviate this crime problem, really and truly, the root cause analysis and solution is really to go down in the poor category and make opportunities become available to the poor people and the youths where they could say, right, I would like to become an engineer, I would like to become a pilot, I would like to become a doctor, I would like to become a pharmacist, I would like to become a teacher.
Yeah.
And there will be no hindrance to that poor child, that low income earner house, where the child will have all access to laptop, to the best teaching, the best schools, the best medicine if the child gets sick. But right now that is not happening.
But why would you want? Why would you want to develop Trinidad and Tobago to that point? Why would you want to do that? You will want to do that, Koki, to move the country to a different status. But you have to realize that the people that we have at the hem, they have other intentions.
Yes, I agree with that.
They have other intentions. They would not, this government would not, and are saying that without fear and without favor,
Right.
this government will not make moves to reduce the poverty level. They will not make moves to allow the poor to climb out of that situation.
Well,
you
why?
see, Koki, this is where the voting bank of the PNM lies. The voting bank of the PNM lies within that level.
Right.
The few people who supports the PNM to the top, they are those who continue to benefit. They are those who will get contract. They are those who will prepare the kickbacks to ensure that the PNM have money to finance our next election.
Yeah.
They are those who have trucks and backhoes and excavators, and they are those who are wealthy. They are those that Rowley and what's her name again on Natalie Lego was speaking of. That is the rich, or if you know what, one time Pandey had called them the parasitic oligarchy.
Yes, correct.
This group of individuals, their concern is not about country. Their concern is not about people. Their concern is money.
Yes.
That is their concern. Money. And more money. Now, when you have those people who support the PNM and do anything to keep the PNM in power, now we have to realize that these are some of the same people who own the newspapers. These are some of the same people who own the television houses. These are the same people who will spread the propaganda to keep the PNM in power at all costs. They are those who will pay money if it becomes necessary to assassinate you, Koki, to keep the PNM in power. Listen what I just say, you know.
Wow.
They are those who will pay to assassinate you to keep the PNM in power. Let me tell you something. The government have a plan. And this plan is a plan that they were trying to execute since before the 2020 election. And I will tell you the plan here today. Right. The government have a plan where they want to lock up 1 or 2 or 3 PNM UNC MPs.
MPs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a plan that I had wind of long time because I have friends in the PNM too. It's said in a meeting with members of with other members of a certain religious organization,
Yeah.
that they were planning, they had to try their best to arrest these individuals to sell the narrative of corruption. They wanted to sell the narrative of corruption. So they had decided that they have to arrest, lock up, charge. It matters not if the state will have to come and pay down the road, but they want to have this big banner across that we have locked up UNC officials for corruption. If you go back to Faris Alwari arrangement with
QC.
Queen's
Yes.
Counsel Nelson,
Yes, yes.
you would have heard the DPP said that he is the one that have the constitutional authority to enter into these sorts of agreement.
Right.
But yet Faris allegedly entered into those agreements. We saw a document that was leaked. And to the end of the day, while we hear that, while the DPP say that, hey, I is the man, the buck stop with me, to the end of the day, you hear anything about any investigation to arrest Faris Alwari for misbehavior in public office if that document is real?
No.
Nothing. So to the end of the day, there's a whole conspiracy, and that is why I keep saying, I am wondering if the contamination have since spread to the DPP office. I am asking that question because we cannot accept where blatantly Faris Rowley stand up on a platform in Pagot's Corner, and he said that what the UNC was trying to avoid is to get the PNM not to arrest those who involved in white collar crime. You remember that? Now, if this is the case, then what method would be used to conduct those so-called investigation? And we have an example, because if Faris Alwari went ahead and exempt the Queen's Counsel from any form of prosecution, any form of defamation. So in other words, there's a license for he to lie, to say, to do whatever he want. He have a permanent immunity. Now, if this is the method, judging from that method, with Faris and Queen's Counsel and the document that came out in the public domain, then it tells you that the government will stop at nothing to conspire to have UNC members arrested, simply to sell the narrative that they have sold and the media helped them to sell during the 2015 election when they went on this corruption campaign. That is what this is about. And we as citizens of this country, we must not be fooled, because if Faris break the law by entering into that agreement, then Jacob, you tell us, what is the position? What is the position with Faris Alwari, with that investigation, with Faris Alwari, transfer of the vehicle, with Faris Alwari, the number of recusal? What is the position?
And I want to add this to Boyvik. Boss spoke about that last night, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bisesa. She spoke about the PNM track record in this whole justice system and what they're doing to help their friends and family, even who were under investigation and who were being charged before the courts, where the PNM government just stopped sending things like state council to represent the state again. The boss, she gave 3 examples where in 2010, when the UNC government came into play, the standard arrangement is that all board members and all ambassadors will tender their resignation, because it is it's global. When a new administration comes in, right, obviously the old guard will not want to carry out the mandate of the new government, so that you are expected to resign. If you are a follower of PNM and UNC comes into power, you will have to resign, because you cannot subscribe to what the UNC, the direction UNC, and vice versa. UNC directors and state board, if the PNM won, like what happened in 2015, everybody tendered their resignation, right? Well, mostly everybody. So what I'm getting at is that there were 3 individuals, according to what Boss said, 3 individuals from the PNM, the old guard, who actually took the UNC government to any court for wrongful dismissal. They didn't want to resign. So they were given the red letter, basically, from what I gathered, and they took the UNC government to court. And what we are hearing is that there was a very good chance of winning the matter. The UNC government had put up a very robust defense and was defending the matter simply because of the same reason I gave you, that the old guard is expected, morally expected, to resign and let new people take the places of state boards and ambassador positions and so on, right? But these 3 PNM supporters didn't want to resign. So that, and now they play boldface now and say, well, we're taking all that to court.
Yeah.
We're taking UNC to court. The matter went up to 2015. The UNC had a good defense. You know, when the PNM came into power, under the dictatorship of Faris Al-Rawi, he withdrew the matter. Well, not withdraw the matter, sorry. No witness statement was given, and the judge had no choice but to throw the matter.
Well, added to that, the Malcolm Jones situation,
exactly,
where the Privy Council, the laws was saying, but in other words, what is this?
Yes.
What is this? And this is what we continue to accept in this country. You see, this government will stop at nothing to remain in power. This government will stop at nothing to remain in power. This government don't care who or what they have to bulldoze out of their way to stay in power. They intend to bulldoze whoever to remain there.
One word for that: dictatorship in the making.
And that is where we are. That is where we are. And you're still saying the making, but I think it's already here. It is here. We are not seeing the full phase.
Yeah.
But what the administration continue to do is they are intensifying it in serious strategic areas.
Yep.
For instance, one, there is nothing like a peaceful protest anymore. You can stand up anywhere now and voice your concern. There'll be ton-loads of police.
Heavily armed.
Heavily armed police. That is not only to intimidate. That is also to send the message that the government would not tolerate anyone standing out and speak against it. And that is a deadly type of dictatorship.
Of course.
And we as a country, while I hear people would say that we need to do more, I agree. I agree we need to do more. But I don't want you to tell me I need to do more while you do nothing.
Correct. We need all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck. And this is why Anna Roberts keeps saying, day in, day out, we need to be united. Because the PNM is a monster. It's a monster, and they are against the wishes of the people.
But I am on a track to revitalize the UNC members in library.
Right.
And I am taking that page from you guys
in
St. Joseph.
Yes.
And it is something that we need to talk about tonight.
Yes.
I am taking a page from you guys in St. Joseph because I have seen that you guys were able to bring back the old executive together, those who were disenchanted, those who were toting feelings, as the young people will say. I have seen that you folks were able to bring back that unity in St. Joseph.
Well, Vic, look, I know you want to say something, but look, I had to tell you this. If you really love your country, you truly, truly love your country, and you want to see betterment for your community and your country, there's only one option but to unite. Right? And when you unite, you're stronger. United, we win all the time. Yes. Divided, we fall is the golden rule, the general rule of life. United, you win. Divided, we fall. And hence the reason why, Anil, when boss had asked Anil to resign his position as minister
Yeah.
of sport, Anil Roberts, right? And he resigned, but he not only resigned his cabinet position, you know, he went and resigned his MP position too, because he was saying that if it is that I am not fit to be a cabinet minister, then I am not fit to be the MP also, and he resigned both. And to me, that is a sign of serious integrity.
Right.
Anil showed what true integrity is. Resign from all public positions and claim him, which is what he did. Which is what he did. And Anil has shown that even though you're not in office, because Anil is not a cabinet, Anil is not in government again, right? The boss made Anil a senator, yes, but Anil has shown that even when you what we call the wilderness, you're out in the wilderness. Yes, if you really care and love the people, you will not go against the very party that gave you that opportunity in the first place. So, for example, you see a lot of people calling and saying this and that about UNC and so on. But really and truly, the UNC, look, our good friend Jeffrey coming in there, man.
Hey.
Jeffrey, man.
Jeffrey, you ain't easy.
But my point is this, right? That really and truly, you may have your, as you say in Victor, you have your differences. You didn't get selected to go back up for your MP position. In 2019, I did not get selected to go back up for my councillor position.
Yeah.
Right? But I did not go against the party, and I did not say, oh God, this one that way and that one that way. I supported the person who the party chose to replace me. Right? And I supported her fully. And she's still there. She's doing a good work, and I will continue to support her.
Right.
Because this is our party. This is the party that I subscribe to, and I am a team player. Understand what I'm saying? And I support the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa 1,000,000%. Because I am seeing in her the strength, the internal strength, the vibe, the humility, the humbleness, yet still the astute leadership. In, for example, that move where she put Anil Roberts as the coordinator at St. Joseph was a master stroke. Because Anil now, as you are saying, the blueprint will be coming to Labre. Anil, together with the executive and together with the councillors and the people, are gelling, as I told you last program. And we move, it's like a tsunami. One move after another, we're getting bigger and bigger, like an avalanche coming along. And I sorry for the other thing. Whoever the parent put there, they're going to get real bad licks, I'm telling you.
And that is what we need to do. We need to, you see, I think that we have in somewhat become complacent. And while we have become complacent in certain ways, there is others who also has become disenchanted. And there are also UNC supporters who speak that they will not vote again, and they have 1,000 reasons why they would not vote again. And I am saying on record tonight that Corky, they may have some legitimate reasons, but the fact of the matter remains is, while you may have some legitimate reasons, the fact of the matter remains is that we cannot allow the PNM to continue.
Correct.
And there must become a time where we will have to look at the bigger picture. I am not going to ask people in any way whatsoever to say, look, you just have to put your head in the sand. No, I am not saying that. I am saying that we must be able to work our differences out. And we must be able to work our differences out in a constructive manner. You know, somebody tell me the other day, Victoria allow people to criticize the MPs. And I have no problem, Corky, with constructive criticism. Absolutely none. Because what constructive criticism does, it helps you to grow.
Get better.
It helps you to be better. It helps you to exhale. It helps you to say, hey. Because, you see, we have to understand that none of us is a perfect human being. None of us is a perfect human being, Corky. And we will have our difference.
Mm-hmm.
We will have struggles. We may even have cuss out, although I don't cuss. We may have cuss out. But at the end of the day, we have to also look as to what is good and proper for the country that we say we love. We have to look and see what is better
Yes.
Correct.
for the country. And if we ought to examine, if we ought to compare policies versus policies,
Yep.
government versus government, leader versus leader, opposition versus opposition, if we are to compare and put all the factors together, Trinidad and Tobago will have no doubt but to see by tangible evidence that the People's Partnership was one of the best government that passed through this TNT.
Victor, that statement is FACTS, facts, not FAX. In all sphere, the UNC government from 2010 to 2015 in health, Koki,
Yes.
if the boss didn't have a vision to build that Cuba hospital,
Yeah.
what would have been our position here today with COVID? They would not have enough space in ICU.
Yes.
The PNM was able to utilize that Cuba hospital built by the UNC as the COVID, the primary COVID treatment center, where they had how much ICU beds open there.
And you know what too? At that point in time when she was in power, the police presence was heavy on all the live shogunas. And as they came
That
out,
is a very salient
the
point.
police
Koki.
hardly roaming around and checking and things.
Koki,
Right.
not only that,
No lie.
not only that,
No lie. I'm serious.
you was able to protest as you
They were
want.
having the police out there, you know.
The PNM was protesting left, right, and
Yes.
center and inciting the people. Yes, you're correct. But who gave the police service $1,000, no question asked, increasing their salary? It was the
Okay.
UNC government,
Yeah.
a tax-free allowance.
When you're hearing people getting murdered,
Right,
little
the
baby
police
and
was
things.
more, the police service, the members of the police service were more motivated
Yeah.
under the UNC, and I will say that, right? There was things happening positively in the country. So health was one,
Yeah.
laptop program. The children was taken care of with the laptop the laptop program, the children life fund. Which government you ever saw dip into their own pocket? The Prime Minister made an announcement. Each MP, each minister will give up 10% of the salary into that
Yeah.
children's life fund
Added to
program.
that, children who
Under the UNC.
may have been suffering with cerebral palsy and autism and so on.
Yeah.
There were also grants and specialist
Yes.
treatments.
Yes.
Specialist treatments were provided
Yes.
for these children. A matter of fact, there were a number. If you are to look back at the ratio of school violence and compare it back then to now, we take off with about 100% more school violence now than back in the days of 2010, 2015, because there were guidance officers, there were specialists, there were nurses and doctors, and there was policies in place to bring psychiatrists and professionals who will look at the children from a tender age, children who
Yes.
may showing signs of some sort of disorder by the way they behave. There was specialists. If you listen to Tim Gopi Singh discourse, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh discourse, if you listen to that, you will realize that to the end of the day, there were policies in place to treat with every aspect of development of the child, of the youth within the educational system. And this is what has fallen apart, why today we are seeing this type of a matter of fact, last week a student in my son's school was stabbed. That's Sipar West, stabbed. That is how serious it is. And we have to while Cocky prepared to go to the top of the hour break, we have to be prepared to take back our country. And for this to happen, we must bring the people together.
Unite.
Those people who speaking about they ain't voting again and they're done with that. And this dotish PNM ideology that people use to tell us that the PNM and the UNC is the same thing. Don't even call my radio station and tell me that.
Yeah.
You call me and tell me
Automatic
that.
cut off.
I set up this phone to read your mind. As you go and talk this stupidness, this phone must tell you, idiot, don't call here. Right? Now you take this call before we go forward, before we go for the break.
Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
All right, good. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome, caller. Go ahead.
Look at the fact, our national security minister that really both on people. And I know it's like when you're in charge of office. All I did was Shannon on board when I like a man head, but this fella like me that I was minister, you not gonna attitude so you looking at it and then dealing with the issue, you look at the like the one that's the issue. Right, but
What do you expect when you have a minister who's sleeping away on himself? The Minister of National Security got caught sleeping away himself in a press conference. What do you expect anything different from him?
I look for listening up.
When you have a Minister of National Security as an idiot, you expect anything different?
It's easy. All right, I have a lesson, man. Here.
Thank you, brother.
We're going for the break and when we come back more.
All right. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barkpore. All pickups, cars and bikers are invited Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. For more information, call 391-3043. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barkpore. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. Also a special guest appearance by the 4x4 man, Kenneth Salik.
The girl leave me for a man with a big van. She don't wanna pay the wagon. She looking for a four-wheel van.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew
Everyone's coming out to bring about a change. UNC for a lane. BNM must go. Tell them go. BNM must go. Everyone's coming out to bring about a change.
This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks, we bringing out all the big guns. First we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable Deputy Political Leader Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Anil Roberts, and yours truly, Marshall Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Wear your yellow, wear your red, wear your pink, your blue, your green, your purple, your tie-dye. It don't matter. It's one family, one Trini family. Come. Diego Martin, Maraval, Carenage, Blue Basin, Bagatelle, Big Yard, Westmoreland, Bayshore. Everybody under the sun united. Well, in this case, it will be under the moon. This Thursday, 12th of May, TT Speaks rolls into Diego Martin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Diego Martin South Community Center. Looking forward to being around each other, getting to know each other. We want to hear from you, and you will hear from us. We will set some records straight this Thursday. See you there.
UNC for Wale. PNM must go. Tell them go. PNM must go. Everyone's coming out to bring about.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to send our condolences out to the Point 14 family
Yes.
in relation to the death of this 2-year-old child. Of course, my colleague will want to send his condolences, as well as we will be sending condolences out on behalf of the United National Congress to you, the family of this little one.
Yes, on behalf of myself, my family, and the people of St. Joseph, on behalf of our coordinator, Senator the Honorable Anna Roberts, and the entire executive, and all our activists from St. Joseph, we want to join with the rest of the nation in sending our condolences and our deepest sorrows to that little baby, because he was a baby still,
Yeah,
2-year-old.
Kaimani.
Kaimani,
Yeah.
right, baby Kaimani? May your soul rest in peace. May the Almighty Creator keep you in a special place in Jannah in heaven. And may the Almighty Creator bless your parents and give them the strength to undergo this trial that they are going through, because the worst thing a mother or father could ever go through is to lose a child. And vice versa. The worst thing a child could ever go through is to lose their mother or their father.
And with that in mind, Corky, we
Yes.
will take 1 minute silent
Mm-hmm.
and we will return. Starting now.
Let's go. Yes.
Right, so that 1 minute silence was, of course, for baby Kaimani, and of course, the family. As we say before, our condolences. And
Vic-
this,
I wanna say one of the comments on our live Facebook feed right now. Miss Azina Smith, I want to agree with you. She is saying that evil has taken over our beloved Trinidad and Tobago, where every day is a murder and something else happening. It's like under this wicked PNM government, the evil just keeps spreading more and more, and we definitely need to change this order. We need to bring back goodness to the country.
and I agree, because, as I said before, when you have a government who does not respect the law and respect the Constitution, then what would you leave for the rest of the citizens of the country to do? It is as though everything has now broken down. We are living in what we can consider to be a rat race. The fit will survive. Well, I'm going to take back that, because in this case, the fit ain't even surviving, because it could be as fit as you want, a bullet taking care of you.
Yeah,
That is how the thing going on.
like what happened with you?
Right. And they will do what they have to do to suppress, to damage the those who will speak out against the wrongdoing. They will take all the steps necessary.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. On the road, Corky,
Yes.
on the road, there is some police officers will stop me.
Yeah.
Good night, sir. This is a routine check. We want to see a license and insurance. And as I give them a permit,
Yeah.
oh, so you is the Victor Roberts?
Yeah,
All right.
yes.
Well, let's check them tires. Check the MGW. Check this. Check that. As they see Victor Roberts. Now,
What?
I have no problem with the police doing their job. But the mere idea could single me out and start to say, well, oh, so you is, oh, this is Victor Roberts here, they're the man. The mere idea you start to go there, then you take it to the next level. So,
But do all the police officers do that? Do all of them?
no. Some of them
Right.
polite, they stop. Mr. Roberts, well, it's a routine check and so on.
Yes.
And I welcome that. I welcome that. Because I want to let them who feel
Yeah.
that they can intimidate me, that in Victor Roberts' blood there is nothing as fear. People don't frighten me. The PNM shoot me already and try to execute me, and I live it.
What?
And I live in not because the shooter wasn't good. I live in because the creator, the one God,
Correct.
Say not Victor.
not Victor today.
Not today.
Die
And when-
another day. Not
and
today.
whenever that day reach,
Yeah.
that one God will send me when that time reach. So I don't
Yes.
fear. And my brother here, he understand what I'm saying. We doesn't live with fear. We do what we have to do. We do it fairly. We do it justly. And we expect our reward from the Creator.
Correct.
That is where my reward had to come.
Correct.
That is where his reward will come. And when the time reach,
Yes.
all of us will give account and pay the price for what we do and what we didn't do. Because there's a price for what you ain't do. Trinidad and Tobago, there's a price for you folks who sitting down in your house, who supporting what is happening, the destruction of the youths of this country, simply because some all you have nothing, all you grow up with nothing, all you live with nothing, all you have become so selfish that all you do even want to see all your children do better than all you. That is wicked parents. Let me tell you something before we get into agriculture. I want my children, every one of them, to be better, to do better than Victor Roberts. Every one of them. To do better than me. That is what it must be. But when you could sit down in your house and see this government, I want to get hot now, doing what they're doing to the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden, and you who fall within that category will sit down and idle without raising a hand, a foot, a finger to bring about change.
Yes.
You is wicked. When you could sit in your home and see this government carrying us down the drain, destroying the future of your children, and you could watch the texture of your hair and the color of your skin
And laugh.
and laugh and ain't do nothing to help the situation,
It's part of the problem.
you is not only part, you are the problem.
Yeah. Well, Vic,
There we go then.
talking about children, right?
Yeah.
You see this wicked government? We could use a whole set of adjectives to describe their mode of conduct. But you see, when they started to affect our children negatively, that is when I get mad. Right? And you could see it in Boss too, when Boss was talking about the abuse of the children in these children's homes. Right? And then the minister coming in parliament to cry crocodile tears. So you wasn't crying for the 7 years you were there before.
Well,
But because the report,
go man cry.
well, that remind me of DL Singh, you know, when DL Singh was like, you know, one tear. Yeah, she shed one tear. This one like was some crocodile tears. The other one they called she not the mama. Shamfa, Kujo, jumping up and down. Nobody lives there.
Yeah.
That's set of clowns parading as ministers in this PNM government. And I make no bones and no apology for that statement. You understand? It's clowns. And I set of square pegs in wrong holes. I'm saying it as it is. Imagine, they want to rush to open the school system, right? Okay, pandemic came, but we had the school system closed. But you rush and you open without proper planning in place. What happening now is that COVID rampant, rife across the schools. The poor children getting it, all ages, from elementary primary school, secondary school. Everybody getting it. Teachers getting it. Carrying it home. But here is the thing now. When you carry it home, the elderly getting it. And this thing where you have mild symptoms is a myth. Because I got it about a month ago, Victor, and I'm going to tell you something. That thing threw me down. That thing threw me down. And my statistic wasn't even counted because the government don't have a proper mechanism to capture. They have a lot of home testing kits now. It's cheaper, it's easier for the person to go and buy a $60 kit in the pharmacy.
Yeah.
You test it and you're right, COVID positive. But you know what? The government are capturing that data because they don't want it. You had to present yourself into a health center to do a PCR, which you'll get about 2 weeks after. And only that positive test go reflect as a statistic. So we have thousands of people with COVID outside here. Yeah. Some of them don't have symptoms and spreading it around. Some of them have symptoms, but the elderly who is the most vulnerable, catching the skin to recover. Because at the end of the day, whether it's Omicron or Delta, it's still COVID. And the elderly are the ones who are most at risk.
Yeah.
And people are still dying. But they rush to open the school system. My personal opinion, this is not any official position. My personal opinion as a former teacher, I taught chemistry at St. George's College in Barataria for 9 years. Yeah. So I know the system. Oh gosh, you're in the end of the academic year. You just have 1 term to go. The online system we were making it do, you could have continued because you still had COVID in the system. Continue, my personal opinion, you could have continued with the online system. Wait out the term home. And by July, August, you could make a more accurate and informed determination how prevalent the COVID is. And then you make a more informed decision whether you can open back in September or not. But as it is, you rush, you open in the 3rd term of the academic year. Only for this COVID to spread across the nation. And on top of it, you're hiding the figures. You're covering up. Both the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health. Wicked people.
Well, that is something that they did throughout the pandemic. But let's get back to this subject. This is a very important subject. On the last occasion, we were dealing with the agriculture aspect, and you said to us that there were WASA were removing, and a matter of fact, we had experience where WASA picked up water pumps and so on in agriculture lands and so on. We also have where WASA is claiming all water belong to them. The rain could fall, you could dig a dam, you could go in a drain, whatever the water is WASA own. And they probably have a point because the amount of leaks that have in the country probably is really their water that full and everything. But
the same minister who say he didn't realize leaks.
Man,
the minister man say he didn't realize leaks would reduce the pressure. Yeah. And then Rowley say, well, that is the man for it to run it.
So we were also told that the WASA were doing some kind of billing system.
Yes.
And that was where we stopped at the last occasion when I asked you to return so as to deliberate and
well, I can give you an update from the ASCT point of view, right? The Agriculture Society point of view. On number since subsequent to that program.
Before we go there, just identify yourself to those who may tune in now as to what is your portfolio, what is your position in the Agriculture Society of Trinidad and Tobago, so they'll have a better...
Right. Okay. So on top of being a former councillor for the South East area, I am also a current director on the Agriculture Society of Trinidad and Tobago. We were elected in 2021, January 2021. We were supposed to have an election January 2022. All systems were go. However, an opposing slate to our team, they did an 11th hour judicial review in our local court, and the judge did grant them relief to stay the election. So we, as the incumbents, continue to be the committee of management until such time the election proceeds, right?
So that matter is not over?
No, it's actually ongoing right now. The judge, I think the judge called it again last week Tuesday. We just need to get an update on where we are with it. The opposing team, there were some issues with the voters list, and I don't want to go into too much detail with it, but it is being sorted out via the justice system. So I don't want to say too much with it. Safe and accept that we are continuing to be the committee of management, the incumbents, because somebody has to stay to manage the affairs of the farmers, right? So talking about the farmers now, when I made that disclosure Thursday, a number of farmers called me between Thursday and up to today, stating that they are ready. They are ready to do what is necessary to let WASA know that is a very discriminatory, a very unfair policy, where WASA is charging farmers who are feeding our nation. WASA is telling you, before you can pull water off that drain or that little stream or that little river there, you have to pay us money. You have to pay us for the permit, the water extraction permit, and you have to pay us a quarterly bill under the guise of water abstraction. Right? Now, WASA doesn't have, I am telling you, I am asking WASA, what is the mechanism by which they calculating how much water a farmer will pull from the river, and that amount of water goes into the roots of the plant, because you're really supposed to be charging farmers for the amount of water uptake into the plant, because most of that water, when it falls in the soil, it's going back down and going back to the stream, the same stream. So is WASA giving a refund for that water going back in the stream, or you're charging them for the amount of water you take? So you see where they have discrepancies coming up already, because really and truly, Jeffrey, understand? It's really supposed to be the water being going to the soil and taken up by the plant. Not all the water that returning back, because you come like you double charging the farmers there. Because that same water going back to the stream. And the farmers had to pump it back again, right? That's one. And two, during the rainy season, Victor, you said it. During the rainy season, the same water that coming down in the streams and rivers and drains, but in a greater volume now, and overcoming the banks and barriers and so on, and flooding out the poor farmer's garden and damaging crops, loss of income there. Is WASA going to take ownership of the same water and recompense the farmers? It's a totally unfair policy that WASA has. And one would have thought that if this government was truly caring and really have the people interest at heart, they would have never introduced something like this in the first place.
Right.
Because the farmers, they are not bandits, they are not criminals. The farmers are actually feeding the nation. Whether the crop's cheap, whether the crop's expensive, farmers go outside there, day in, day out, toil tirelessly. A farmer's job is very difficult, you know, bro. Farmer's job is very, very difficult. Nobody could imagine what a farmer life is like unless if you live it. My whole family, from my grandfather, my uncles, and all of them were farmers. So I see.
The level of liability, WASA may be accepted. Wait a minute, if you get sick from the water, that level of liability, the funds for that would be that.
Well, the water that he's speaking about, they really is to utilize in the field for planting, right? It's not for consumption. But added to that, what policy would the government put in place to reduce this burden on the farmers of this country who continue to see trouble in terms of land preparation, land production of the food and so on? And I know for a fact that the government have reduced or probably in some cases cut out the subsidies that the farmer would have gotten back in many areas. So when you put an additional burden, and the Minister of Agriculture would not intervene to say, well, look, there must be some sort of give and take here in terms of water that is being utilized from streams or ponds and so on. I believe that some sort of exemption should be given to the farmers.
This is what we're saying.
Right? Should be given to the farmers, because one, it is not water that is really
utilized water treatment
for treatment, and water that is there for
domestic
drinking
use.
Right?
Correct, yeah.
So if the farmers utilizing, whether it be by way of a pond or even taking water from the rivers, the Caroni River or other streams or springs in some cases, then how could you charge the farmers, especially where the farmers have to pay more for fertilizer, they have to pay more for fuel, They have to pay more for maintenance of equipment and other stuff. They're paying more for seedlings. They're paying more for everything. So
Everything.
on top
Everything.
of that, the government needs to understand that when you increase fuel, it will create an impact on the farmers across the board, because everything will eventually step up.
With the fishermen, you saw the clip with the fishermen.
Yeah.
Where the fishermen say, better we get rid of Rowley.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing anything about the gas increase, and it's not economical for them to go out on the boat again, because the money they're spending in the gas. You're not catching enough fish to come and make background money.
So what is the minister? What is the, and you see, that is the problem we have in the country, because the Minister of Agriculture, Clarence Rambarat, who was there
was
before,
the minister, yeah.
And now we have
Kazim
Hussein,
yeah.
who, as far as I'm concerned, is another waste of time.
Yeah.
To the end of the day, to the end of it all, where are we going?
Well, let me say this, Vic. Let me say this. This Prime Minister has a propensity for rewarding failure. I'll say that again. The more you fail is the more he rewarding you. And I'm not making any bones about that statement. Clarence Rambarat has been an abysmal failure. Not a normal failure, you know. An abysmal failure to the farmers. There are farmers still waiting on the flood relief grants since 2018, the big floods in 2018. Right? He has done little or nothing for the agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago. So rightly he had resigned. But what did the Prime Minister do? Create a new entity called Single Point Access with control in all state lands and put Clarence Rambarat in charge. So you reward him. Same thing with Foster Commons. There was a report that the Prime Minister as chairman of the National Security Council I know about on Foster Commons leading up to the 2020 election. As we know, the information was bossed by Senator Jayanti Lakshmi, where Special Branch had a report on Foster Commons. What did the Prime Minister do? He would have known about that report.
Must.
Boom! Select him to go run for Laukidat Alparo.
Yeah, greater protection. They call it greater protection.
You know? So he rewarded
failure.
He rewarded failure. But coming back to the agriculture, Vic, the farmers' plight. The farmers are bawling out, are crying out for help. Yet still the minister, I'm saying it again, the minister who was there before, Clarence Rambarat, failed to meet with the board that is under the law of Trinidad and Tobago put to advocate on behalf of farmers, the ASTT. The Minister of Agriculture failed to meet with us for the whole of 2021. He said, no, all they tell me how they're going to pay all the debts first. When he wickedly cut the subventions to the ASTT. So he cut the subvention and then telling me, well, give you a plan how we plan to pay the debt that we inherited from our previous president, Ms. Dana Suku. And we are a new board. So you see how wicked this PNM government is?
But from where you sit, you sit on the board, what recommendation in relation to this same issue of WASA wanting to charge the farmers, have your board taken any step in terms of...
Well, I know the president would have stated, and the majority of the members would have stated, that is the same thing I'm saying here now on radio, that we feel that is a very discriminatory, a very unfair measure that WASA is putting on the farmer, and we feel that the farmer should not be made to bear that burden unless WASA reciprocate and say, okay, well, during flooding, if your crop get damaged with the same water that we own, we will give you a flood relief. If WASA do that, well, then we could accept it. But if they're not doing that and charging the farmers in dry season for water abstraction, farmers that feed in our nation, we will resist that. And I am telling you, farmers are mobilizing. It's coming. As our famous leader, Kamala Pusat, said, it's coming. Well, it's coming, WASA. Farmers are mobilizing, and we will be showing up very soon.
Beautiful.
To make a point that the farmers will not be taking that unfair burden where you charging farmers for water that not even being utilized for domestic purposes in the distribution system. This is water that coming down a drain, coming down a stream, away from the water treatment plants, downstream from water treatment plants. Water that is used to give life to seeds and plants to feed our nation. You want to charge farmers for that.
So that water would eventually be going back into the sea.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
What do you think is needed apart from a total restructuring of the agriculture system in this country?
Yeah.
What do you think in the short term would bring some kind of relief to the farmers? And let me explain what I mean. You think that it would be more effective if the farmers were given some kind of equipment, whether to produce ponds to have their water
Right.
on hand, or what do you think?
So, Victor, that question, we could take a whole program, probably about 3 programs to answer what we really need to do in agriculture. But basically, my first point, change this administration. Because they have had 7 years, Jeffrey. This administration has had 7 years to show what they could have done for agriculture, and they did nothing. So I am very firm on the fact, change this administration. Let me get a fresh perspective on what to do. Right now, for example, we have problems with the price of fertilizers and price of chemicals. This has tripled. It has tripled because of the shipping problems and so on. The cost of shipping has increased. The government has done nothing to alleviate that to the farmers. The brunt of the costs are being borne by the farmers. So the farmers have to pay for those higher inputs that go into the soil, right? No infrastructure work from Ministry of Agriculture. Little or no infrastructure work from Ministry of Agriculture. So things like clearing the drains during dry season to allow more water to come in. Clearing the water courses before the rainy season starts to allow the water to go so that there will be less potential for flooding, right? Creating ponds, retention ponds, so that dry season the farmers have water, right? These things are not being done, or rehabilitating ponds, right? Farmers are crying out all over the place for a backhoe, for excavator, for help. The Ministry of Agriculture could have utilized the ASTT, where we are representing bodies of farmers all over the country. Gillingham Junction, Aranguez farmers, Toco farmers, Rio Claro farmers, all across the country. All across the country. Orange Grove, Maloney, we have big farmers here, Parliament farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture could have utilized our services, and we could have coordinate with them and tell them, hey, Ministry of Agriculture, we need an excavator by Orange Grove immediately. Orange Grove have 100 ponds that we need rehabilitating. But no communication with ASTT.
But let me ask you a question. Do
Yeah.
you believe that politics is playing an integral part in the way the farmers are being treated?
Well, they have 2 answers to that. Yes and yes. So let me tell you why I say yes and yes, right? So yes, because the farmers have traditionally been treated as the bastard child in Trinidad and Tobago, where farmers will look down as second-grade citizens because they are mud in their clothes. The same muddy clothes they go in any market to sell their produce, and the governments that came would have looked down on them. Not the UNC government, because I have something here on Carney Green I want to share with you guys that happened under the UNC time when I was working, and this government shut it down because of spite and politics. But yes, to your answer, because farmers have been looked down upon because of the nature of the work. And secondly, there are some big interests to protect. Let me explain that now. When Prime Minister Rowley said the rich, he has to make policies for the rich to get richer. They have big businesses in our country importing a lot of food stuff that can be grown locally.
Right.
Things like romaine lettuce, things like foreign tomatoes, right? These things could be grown locally. Rice. I have something to tell you about rice and Carney Green. Rice could be grown locally. The price of feed, we spoke about feed last time. Feed via corn. We could have corn estates all over the place where we're making our local feed. All these prices of animal products could have been kept down low. But the big interest is being protected.
You see, why would the government want to assist farmers in this country? Why would they want to do that? When at the same time, the government utilize the option to make money, to put money in the businessman pocket by importation. When the government import stuff that can grow here, it tells us it's a straight case where the government see this as a profit-making venture for their friend, their finances, and their family.
Yes.
So they would not want to spend money into the local agriculture to develop the sector where they will cut that part of this GDP. They want to continue to utilize it because remember, if you look at the pattern of this government, whether they buy boat, they buy helicopter, they buy plane, whatever they buy, there is no accountability in terms. They always tell you that we have a secret arrangement. There is something about the contract that always secretive
and
that they cannot disclose to the public.
Figure. Correct.
And this is where they capitalize to steal our money.
Like what they do with Paria with the gas.
Right.
We don't know who Paria importing the gas from.
We don't know.
How much gas? What's the quality of the gas?
Very well be coming from right neighboring Venezuela.
We don't know.
But
which is a contravention of all international laws.
But the fact remains is, until people see it for what it is and realize that, look, the government continue to utilize the loophole within the system to continue to rob this country. And we have to demand, this is what good governance will bring. Good governance is adopting policies that will help your government to be transparent in everything that they do, so you can have a first-hand knowledge as to what is happening with your tax dollar.
Correct.
This government continue to tax you with everything. Your pee is taxed, your defecate is taxed, your spit is taxed, everything is taxed. But you don't even know how your taxpayer money is spending. So why would they want to spend money and develop the agriculture sector when they could continue to utilize billions of dollars and tell you that we have to import food for you to eat because they know how rowdy like to do it?
Yeah.
He like to make it look like it's for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not about you.
It's for finances.
It's for the finances.
The single digit percentage.
And this is what we must stand up against, because agriculture is the backbone. We have seen country crying out and saying that, look, we now going to keep our wheat and keep our food. We're not going to export at this point in time because there would be shortage, and what is happening in Ukraine might further create hardship, and we're not going to do this, and we're not. So
and
eventually,
keeping the products for their own country.
So eventually, what will become of us when your government have no vision in terms of the diversifying your agriculture sector?
People will get frustrated and people start.
Well, it is happening in the school, brother. In the school, I said it and I said it again, that children are searching. And one man tell me, don't say it, because it will look kind of racist. But it's the reality. Children are searching, the East Indian children in the school, when they come to school, to see what money they have in the pocket. That is the facts. Whether all they want to hide all your head or whatever, that is factual. So they're searching these children, taking whatever little money that they come to school with, and on top of that, threatening them. And what people is saying is that this money that they take away from these children, they're going by the canteen and have themselves a nice meal. So what that tell you, it is either they come into school hungry, looking for the opportunity to get something to eat. I remember in the days we go into school, we go carry what we call Johnny Bake.
Right.
And the East Indian children go bring the sada roti.
The takari.
And
we
used to exchange. We used to exchange. I used to make sure my mother make the bake nice, because they were happening. When I carry that bacon cheese, I sure to get some sada roti and some kind of pumpkin or fry aloo or something.
And we didn't like that.
And we did. You could talk for yourself. I still like it. You can talk. I still like it.
Nobody can eat more roti than me.
I telling you. But so, I mean, this is what is happening in our country.
Children are frustrated, basically.
They are frustrated.
And literally, they are hungry.
They are
hungry. They don't have anything to eat, and then this wicked government come and reduce the amount of wheels in the national school feeding program, right? So having said that, you brought up a very important point where agriculture could have been one of the avenues where we could have come out of this pandemic in a better manner, where agriculture would have saved the day, right? We spoke last time we closed off the program where I compared a barrel of oil is 105 US or 106 US dollars,
Right.
right?
The pepper.
And a barrel of pepper mash
Pepper mash.
is 1,000 US per barrel, right? I didn't realize this point. I didn't bring it up then, and a former director on Carney Green reminded me, and I want to tell you guys this, that on top of pepper mash is used to make a number of different products. The main one is pepper sauce. Pepper sauce has usage locally, regionally, and internationally. Internationally, they call it Tabasco sauce and different fancy terms. We know it as pepper sauce, right? Which is big. But also, you could use pepper mash to make pepper spray, which is a very important weapon in the fight against crime.
Heinz.
And pepper spray was recently approved for use in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, no.
Right?
Heinz, you listen? All the incompetent idiots.
Yeah.
One man say pepper spray is worse than a gunshot.
Yeah.
Somebody say
Clarence Rambarat. Yeah. Minister of Agriculture.
Yeah.
And MP Khadija Amin tell him, advise him very nicely.
Yeah, shoot yourself in the eye.
Shoot yourself in the eye in one eye with the gunshot and shoot yourself in the other eye with the pepper spray, and you tell me which one.
Whatever that's advice there, Clarence, shoot yourself with the pepper spray first. Because you won't be able to tell us which is more dangerous when you shoot your next eye. This is how idiotic all the fellas really are. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, brother. So you're making a very good point there.
The pepper mash that costs
Also use
1,000
pepper
US a barrel, where crime is growing exponentially out of control in Trinidad, right? We could have set up our own pepper spray manufacturing facility, which would have aided our citizens in guarding themselves.
And the wider Caribbean.
And even internationally, we could export, and boom, foreign exchange coming in the country via pepper mash, via the hundreds of pepper farmers who planting pepper.
Yeah.
Where we collecting the pepper, you're grinding down the pepper, making the pepper mash that could be distributed and packaged into a number of different products. Pepper sauce, so pepper spray, so to protect. You know, you had a number of different industries that could have opened up, and this was one of the plan of Carney Green.
So we have plenty byproduct will come out from the pepper.
Yes.
And can be utilized throughout the globe, where we could have been earning some kind of foreign exchange coming
but
back
the
into the country.
idiotic government, they pass in law to make pepper spray legal, but we had to spend foreign exchange to import it. When we had the soil to be making the pepper, the main component in the pepper spray was the pepper mash.
Yeah.
And we had it right here, where we wouldn't have to spend forex. Same thing with sugar. They closed down Carney, and sugar is king right now in the world market. Same thing with oil. You stifle the coconut oil industry. Lack of planning. We could have corn oil, thousands of estates with corn, where we could be having a corn processing plant in right in Trinidad. We'd be kings in the edible oil industry. Yet still nothing, and we have to import our oil, as you rightly stated, and we under the vagaries of international pressures.
Because I remember we had what we used to call that again, boy, that was CGA.
Yep.
The Coconut Growers Association on the Eastern Main Road. And you could have tell when you're on the Eastern Main Road with your eye closed that two things you could have really smell, three things you could have smell on the Eastern Main Road was one, the beatum dump, two, Angostura. As you pass there, smelling that rum, and the CGA was another place that we couldn't miss. So, welcome, caller. We'll take your call. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to, since you're speaking about oil, right? I was going to ask you if palm oil, the restrictions on palm oil from Malaysia is going to have an impact on oil in Trinidad, because globally, everybody, especially in countries like ours, and India and Africa, they all use palm oil to cook because it has a very high smoke point. And now with the prices, they actually stay up I think they're limiting the amount that you're producing now because of deforestation and the orangutans losing their wildlife, their homes. So they have like put tanks. They just completely stop producing oil, palm oil, and I think this is why we're seeing different, like creamery ice cream. I don't see it in the supermarkets anymore, and the bread is going to be different because they use palm oil. It gives it a softer consistency. All right, that was my comment.
All right, Kola, thank you.
Kola, please listen offline. You are very correct, and we spoke about that last Thursday where Indonesia would have stopped exporting their number one exporting oil, palm oil, because they said that they don't have enough for exportation. They keeping, as you said, Victor, they keeping it for themselves, their country.
Good night, gentlemen. Very quickly. Oh, hear my cry, oh God, attend to our need from the love of youth. Will I reach out to you, oh God, when my heart is overwhelmed? Lord, lead me with your love that is higher than high, that is higher than high. The time has come, the time is now. Action. Good night.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Kola. I will have an audition sometime on the program. I will ask you to come in and sing. Welcome, Kola.
Good evening, Mr. Victor, Coffee, and your guest.
Good.
I would like to send out my condolences to the family with the 2 years boy. It's very sad. And Mr. Victor, hello?
Yeah, I'm here and you go ahead.
Mr. Victor, today I have the opportunity. I went to Maga Food and I saw my MC for Charity. And I reached out to him, and he told me.
Very well, very well.
Thank you for that, Kola.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, so, right.
So, saying, just to elaborate on the point real quickly, that when the palm oil it is stopped. So the world has been deprived of 60% of the supply of edible oil via palm oil. Indonesia was the number one exporting country for edible oil, right? So now the caller is correct. We have to find alternative supplies of oil to meet our own internal demand. You're using oil in everything. To cook, to make snacks, to bake cake. You're using oil in every and everything, to make bread.
Yeah.
Right? Now, sunflower oil stopped too because of the war in Ukraine. Ukraine-Russia war, sunflower oil get affected. So now the only oil that really coming into our country right now is soybean oil. So oil is on a shortage right now, and the price of oil going to start to go up again because demand and supply.
Again, you say, it
went
up last week again.
It's going to go up again because oil is very short right now. You're getting one type of oil coming. Well, mainly one. It's still that the coconut oil coming from the limited suppliers and so on, right? But if the majority of the oil, the palm oil, no longer available at the moment, the other oil is going to be in more demand.
Yeah.
And the price is going to increase. What is the government doing about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Right? That's going to affect all industries, all food places, because in a roti shop, they're using oil to make the roti and to make a curry and so on. I learned to cook a little bit, so I know. Right? Right? To make bread, you need the oil. To make sweets, you need oil. You ever hear about jalebi?
Yeah.
Jalebi. Yeah, it tastes real nice. A little unhealthy, but it tastes real good. But you need oil.
And you see, again, when we have no vision, we will end up in chaos and turmoil. And the writing is on the wall in Trinidad. While we're speaking about agriculture, the writing is on the wall. I am telling you guys, very soon, you would be in a position where you would not be able to feed yourself. We don't care provide for ourselves already. But there is still the good citizens who will send out some hampers, and some folks will call me and say, Mr. Roberts, look, we have 50 hampers there, and I want to thank the Posad family. Some people will call and say, well, look, I could get 25.
Yeah.
But to the end of the day, very soon, we may have to put gravel, sand, and cement in the bag.
Yeah.
Because there would not be anything to put in the bag.
Yeah, only 10 food alone.
That is where we headed.
And I just, Victor, I want to also thank all those good Samaritans, also those business people. I don't want to call any names.
Yeah.
They know who they are, but they have been given tirelessly, making hampers and giving people like yourself, community workers and activists, and even distributing it themselves too, right? And I have no problem with that. You distribute to who you think need it, because right now people are literally hungry outside here. Literally, a caller wants to know, not caller, a Facebook post. Tommy Mohammed, he said, "What about wheat?" And Tommy, you are correct. Wheat, because of this Ukraine-Russia war, wheat is going to get more scarce again, right? So the price of flour going to go up again.
But if we doesn't get wheat, eventually we will not be able to produce flour.
Exactly. Wheat is the main precursor of a flour. So if we're not getting wheat, and this is where the visionless and the lack of planning by the government, by Prime Minister Keith Rowley, by that failure minister called Gopi Skun, who is in charge of Ministry of Trade, who is the line minister in charge of NFM, and the CEO of NFM, whoever they are, the board of NFM. To me, they should resign. And Gopi Skun should resign too. Because had they had the vision, Victor, they could be advising farmers and encouraging, incentivizing farmers to do cassava, to do sweet potato, where you could have cassava flour. Right? You could actually mix the cassava with a little bit of wheat you was getting, so that you wouldn't have to use all your wheat to make 100% flour. You can make a mixture, a more healthy mixture with cassava and wheat. And you're saving your supplies of wheat, plus get more healthy.
Good night, Mr. Roberts, Corky, and your guest there. I didn't get his name. But, okay, good night, sir.
Good night.
Right, I'm listening to you and your discussion on wheat. And you know where our government has failed? Guyana has just started a project for, I think, 25,000 acres of wheat. If our visionless government understood what is it, they would have piggybacked on that venture, joint venture, or develop a close relationship to Guyana, so when it comes on stream, Trinidad would have been first in the line. But that is the way how a government who has no foresight, who only consider themselves to put money in the cargo pants,
Kola,
to move forward. Yes, sir.
I want to ask you this, right? Guyana recently discovered oil over a little over a year now, oil and gas. There was an international conference right next door in Guyana where our Prime Minister could have been the main guest. Because of our track record with oil and gas, we have oil and gas over 100 years in Trinidad. We're supposed to have the technological know-how and so on, and gas processing and oil extraction and so on.
Right.
When the Guyanese government had invited the Prime Minister, what did he do to go across?
He showed them, as I say, bad faith. And you know what they did in response, and he doesn't understand. They downgraded their representative in Trinidad. I think it's a consulate I hear Mr. Rodney Charles said last night. So Guyana does not, from their foreign policy, see Trinidad as an important player, because we don't even see ourselves as important into the CARICOM. Even the citizens of Trinidad don't believe that they could make any positive contribution, because we vote in a vaccine vagrant, a pimp man too. That is the way we're seeing ourselves now. We are seeing ourselves as losers because we have a loser leader, and we have to change that mindset. We have to change where we go from now, else we, as Barra Jagger said, and I say the prophet is falling apart.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, you're correct. Okay. And Victor, I just want to thank you to that caller. He made a very important point, right? And the point is this: how many ammonia plants and methanol plants are being mothballed and being shut down because we don't have gas to run it? And our goodly Prime Minister went in Houston to negotiate a gas price. You know what he did? It wasn't to the benefit of the country, it was benefit of the gas suppliers and him.
Of course.
Right? And Guyana have gas coming out right now. You don't think the smart thing would have been go to our neighbor, do a memorandum of understanding, and get that gas from Guyana back in Trinidad where we can be powering up back our methanol and ammonia plants?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is to find out why this government do not want to do any business with Guyana. And the caller who could tell me why tonight, you will get a gift. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Roberts, I'm a co-host, right? Sorry for I can't call the names, Today I was listening to CNN and I heard one of those presenters, they call him Richard Crest. He's usually there. And I heard, I don't want to call their name, I think the Minister of Energy. And there was a short interview, a 15 minutes interview. And I got the impression that Trinidad is now experiencing a boom in the production of oil and gas, because they're saying that they're ready to fill the void, help fill the void left by export of gas and oil from Russia. So I don't know, because the picture, what I understood for some time is that the oil production has fallen.
Declining drastically.
And that gas also, we have some problems with respect to...
So we had to close on Atlantic LNG train 1 and after they spend...
I don't know if that is a political stunt on their part. I don't know, because they're due to benefit from the how much they would benefit, but they are willing to fill the void left by Russia exports to Europe and all these different things. The picture was the picture painted was a very positive one. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you're correct. That is political dishonesty on an international scale, because Stuart Young knows.
I would have wanted to hear Guyana, probably Suriname, but I don't know, because the picture that is painted here and what the economists are telling us here, and people in the oil industry and whatnot, what they're telling us, hey, listen, over the next 3 to 4 years or so, we don't have a bright prospect with respect to the production of oil and gas. But I got the impression from what I heard today that Trinidad seemed to be, there's surplus in gas and surplus in oil, petroleum. So I don't know.
But caller, if we have this surplus that Stuart Young and they continue to mislead this country, why it is we have 2 or 3 ammonia plants closed down in Point Lisas, we have train 1 closed down, and of course that is the kind of political dishonesty that we continue to get.
So I'm saying that I got the impression that is what they are selling, because I don't know. Because I am hearing one thing in Trinidad, and I'm hearing something else on CNN through a conversation between Richard Crest and the Minister of Energy. So I don't know. So I would want the Minister of Energy to clear the air on that, because the impression I get, I don't want to believe that is the wrong impression, and I call on him to explain that.
Thank you very much, caller.
Yeah.
And that's a very serious point, caller, that you made here this evening. The number to call is 218-7762. 218-7762. We'll take your calls. And caller, you are quite right. You see, this is the level of dishonesty that we continue to get from this government. 218-7762 is the number to call. This is the level of dishonesty that we get. And this is nothing strange to us, the lies that this government continue to tell. It is nothing strange. We have seen it, we have experienced it. Go ahead. Welcome, caller.
Right. Stuart Young, he going money for COVID, like he getting money, he balling, he getting money. He won money for COVID. So what do they do with all that money where they get and all kind of things? With all them country and then give them money and all kind of things. They still win money. Right.
Thank you, caller. So 218-7762. We'll take some of your calls now. 218-7762. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Papa, assalamu alaikum. You know who is this here? This is Junior Mini House here.
Mr. Malan Matura, president of the Gillingham Junction Farmers Association.
Yes, sir. Earlier made reference to ponds in land. Do you know WASA is charging as well to pump water from that pond in your land?
Well, WASA have to be mad people in this country, and the government who allows
you know
that, they have to be more mad.
Junction doesn't have an abstraction pump, but are still being charged $5,000 to pump water. Tell me where the Cannabis River. Come and do your walkthrough and watch this Cannabis River. How the hell 100 plus farmers is going to pull water from the Cannabis River when if one farmer pull at this present moment can't get water to wet a acre?
Alan, caller, call me during the week. My number is
Mr. Robert, I have your number. I tried calling you many times.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. I have your number. I tried calling you many times last week.
Alright, the best hours to call in the morning, because from half past 5 to 10 I'll be out in the morning.
Marlon, don't go yet, right? I'm glad you called.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Right. Marlon, I want you to tell the listening audience outside there, how much is the bill that WASA would have billed you for the quarter? And are the other farmers of Gillingham Junction being billed also?
The other is one permit per group for the abstraction, the pump, the government pump. Right? That is $5,000 for the 6 months.
Right. Now,
6 months.
Now, Marlon, that is just the pump alone, but have you all started to receive a bill from WASA for water abstraction? A bill?
Yeah.
Tell the callers what's the size of that bill so that people will know the kind of money WASA is trying to extort from the poor farmers. Tell us, Marlon, what's the size of the bill like per quarter?
Well, the bill I have here right now is $5,000.
You see? And that's for the quarter.
$5,000. I telling you, look my farmers in them. Gas going up. $200 extra per week. Let me calculate it at $1,000 extra per month.
So on, right?
Right? Tell me how we making that money. A bag of pepper, my bag of pepper right now, you had to sell to make up that money. Farmers have water pump. They have spray pump. They have vehicle. Come now, man, farmers, man. Let me call it now, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think the farmers have to take some kind of action.
We suffer, if men could call it out. Let me call a state.
When they're taking the action, President, feel free to call me.
Nice. Look, we have a soldier with us now, Marlon.
Alright.
Thank you very much for your call. When you're taking the action, feel free to call me before and give my heads up, because this is nonsense. Take that call. Welcome, caller.
Hey, Mr. Robert, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Father from the postman.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, I'll try to get on your program, but it's very hard to get on your program. You asked a question a while ago, why Dr. Rowley didn't go to Guyana or this and that, or India. You remember the vaccine thing? When Kamala wrote India government for vaccine, everybody vexed. Was you look like Indian or you Indian? Rowley don't want no part of your partner. This is not a racial talk. This is a
Caller, you go get you win the prize, boy.
I want to give. That's why I call. You keep my gift. I know my politics, I'm going to start a call now and tell you about politics. How this politics is in Trinidad. We deal with a wicked, evil government. I heard a pastor say on the program, when I listen to a religious program, they say this country have a curse. And this curse is the PNM government. If a man like Rowley went to Tobago and put Ovia and Manning, and the people just forget it? Huh? You hear what Manning tell this country? If you put this man in power, we will suffer till we die. Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you very much, Kola. Thank you.
I want to add something to that too. Every year before the COVID, the NCIC would have done through the Diwali Nagar, Diwali Nagar, right? They would have done their Diwali Nagar show and so on. Did Dr. Rowley ever made an appearance and bring greetings to the Hindu community on behalf of his office as Prime Minister, as leader of the whole country? He ever went to that Diwali Nagar and brought greetings?
He just sent out press conference on paper. You see,
sad.
That is what people have to realize. I have looked into the strategy of this government. This government, while they utilize the 1% Indian people, the rest of the population is not important. And that is a fact. And that is why you will always hear talk that I don't want no advice from them people over there. I don't want to hear nothing from them people. Rowley will not do business with Guyana. He will not do business with Guyana. You see, Manning had said to us early o'clock and we didn't pay attention. What is the definition of a raging bull?
Correct.
When we come back from the break, I'll go answer that question.
Yes.
This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks. We're bringing out all the big guns. First, we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable Deputy Political Leader, Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Anil Roberts, and yours truly, Marsha Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Where you're yellow, where you're red, where you're pink, you're blue, you're green, you're purple, you're tie-dye. It don't matter. It's one family, one Trini family. Come. Diego Martin, Maraval, Carenage, Blue Basin, Bagatelle, Big Yard, Westmoreland, Bayshore. Everybody under the sun united. Well, in this case, it will be under the moon. This Thursday, 12th of May, TT Speaks rolls into Diego Martin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Diego Martin South Community Center. Looking forward to being around each other, getting to know each other. We want to hear from you, and you will hear from us. We will set some records straight this Thursday. See you there.
UNC for our land. PNM must go. Tell them go. PNM must go. Everyone's coming out to bring about a change.
This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks. We're bringing out all the big guns. First, we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable Deputy Political Leader, Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Anil Roberts, and yours truly, Marsha Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Wear your yellow, wear your red, wear your pink, your blue, your green, your purple, your tie-dye. It don't matter. It's one family, one Trini family. Come. Diego Martin, Maraval, Carenage, Blue Basin, Bagatelle, Big Yard, Westmoreland, Bayshore. Everybody under the sun united. Well, in this case, it will be under the moon. This Thursday, 12th of May, TT Speaks rolls into Diego Martin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Diego Martin South Community Center. Looking forward to being around each other, getting to know each other. We want to hear from you, and you will hear from us. We will set some records straight this Thursday. See you there.
Under the United National Congress, right? And it was formed with the intention of rehabilitating all those dead fields, all those inactive fields, right? And make it productive again. But not only productive, but make it where you can be earning foreign exchange.
Right.
So Carney Green had that vision for the pepper mash. They were actually investing in one of the old pepper mash machines that some businessman had in Central, somewhere down there. But it didn't come to fruition, but they had the vision for it.
Right.
Right? So let me tell you the plan now, because one of this plan affecting you down south, the southwestern peninsula. Cedros, Ikakos, Labre, Point Fortin, Faizabad, Oropuch, East and West. How much garden land or how much farming land do we have down there, Victor? Hundreds and hundreds of estates, right?
Yeah.
That not productive. Only few farmers are really utilizing it. Now, down at the southwestern peninsula is a special type of soil. Not each and any crop could be growing, right? So Carney Green had a vision, and let me tell you this now. They were going to empower the people by giving out 2-acre parcels of land to qualifying, or let me say interested citizens who wanted to venture into animal production, animal husbandry. So you had cattle, you had goat, you had rabbit production, you had ducks, you had chicken, even pig. Although pig against my religion, right? But whoever wanted to go into the animal production, they were actually going to give you a 2-acre parcel, Jeffrey. But here the support they were giving you. The Sugar Cane Feed Center did some research, and there is a type of grass high in protein called Glyrocidia, my mistake, Glyrocidia. And that grass is a special grass where you can feed the animals, and the animals will grow very healthy, right? So you're actually cutting your feed bill, because in the 2-acre parcel, you were able to grow that Glyrocidia grass for the animal. Right? So you're using less feed. And then that would have drive down the price of goat meat, cattle, beef, price of milk, price of eggs, everything would have come down because your feed bill is reduced. You don't have to worry about where's the cost of feed again, and every feed available, every feed not available, because you had the local grass growing right here. A very high proteinaceous grass. Right? So that was one of the plan of Carney Green, to develop the southwestern peninsula into animal husbandry. Also coconut. They were going to give off like coconut estates. They wanted to look at moringa. Right. And you know the health benefits of moringa. Anybody who live in countryside will know moringa is one of the best medicinal plants outside there. Right? So they were going into those things. That is one aspect. The other aspect, we spoke about rice. Carney Green had a plan to develop 500 acres of rice cultivation right in Philistine.
Hold it thought right.
Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Yes, the Silver Fox here. Good night, Victor.
Riot Fox.
Yes, good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Yes. Now, I hear everybody Rowley wicked, Rowley evil, and Rowley still there. Rowley's still there, he wicked and evil, and we still have him there. Gas price raised, everything raised, we still have him there. Now, what I come here to talk tonight, right? I am calling home Watson Duke from Trinidad. Watson, I am calling on
the THA is in $1 billion in debt inherited from the previous PNM THA. That is true.
Well, I hearing all them things too. But what I am saying, if you come back home to be with Fally, right? Everything will go good. But because he is the leader of this party, he's the leader, and we want the leader here with us. We want Duke here with us, right? Because what is happening, he is just talking a pack of nonsense in Trinidad, and the Tobagonians are getting vexed over here. We are vexed over here. People rumbling all over Tobago. They are rumbling. People saying, Duke, where is Duke? Where is Duke? Where is Duke? Since the willpower, the children and them have nothing.
Kola.
Yes.
So Duke is the, if I am correct, right? Duke is the deputy chairman of the THA, right?
He's the deputy, but he is the leader of that party.
Right. And you are saying that Tobago have so much issues that you really need to get the elected representative of the Tobagonians, the deputy chairman of the THA, to come back and concentrate on the issues at Tobago.
Yes, he said Tobago will be like a Dubai. And if he is coming to make it a Dubai, how it will be a Dubai? He is the man, has to be here with us. We want him back here. He's not serving no purpose in Trinidad.
Kola, take 10 seconds and make your plea now. I'm sure Mr. Watson Duke is listening, or somebody tell him to put on his radio now. So go ahead and make your plea on behalf of Tobagonians.
Mr. Watson Duke, the Tobagonians we want you back home. This is your home. We want to fight no election in Trinidad. We want you to come and check about us. And the 2 seats we have here, we got to take them and we got to be comfortable with that. Let me don't be like a dog and a bone. Let us stick to one thing. Show Trinidad what you could do with Tobago, and then next 5 years, then if you want, is democratic, you can go and fight for what seat you want. Miss Camilla is a good woman, and it's alleged things are hearing. I don't like it, Mr. Watson Duke. Miss Camilla is a lady. She's a lady, right? And I will bow down to that lady because she is a mother, right? PNM is treating us bad, and you have to fight against what is going on with the PNM. If you and Fally join together, the short man can't bring no property tax for us. In both can't bring no property tax because you and Fally could bring the people out in the street and we can demonstrate. We could change Trinidad policy right now. But somehow, like some other don't want this thing to done. We are making something of how the people suffering in this country. We are suffering. All of us is suffering in Tobago. Mr. Duke, the children, and they want work. They start to be frustrated. All over I go, people starting to talk about, where is Mr. Duke? Oh God, Mr. Duke, come back home. Come back home. This is your home. Forget Trinidad. Forget swimming pool and top people's house, because if an earthquake come, the water will come through and drown them inside. Leave them people alone. Come home. Home is where you belong. Thank you.
Well, I want to say that I heard the emotion in your voice. And Mr. Watson Duke, the Tobagonians are calling you. They want you to return, and you were elected to serve the Tobagonians.
Good night.
Welcome, caller.
Cascadian. Well said, Silver Fox. Don't come down here to try to split the vote at all. Go back home and deal with Tobago. Take the rest of the PNM out of Tobago. Go back home. I recognize that you're trying something, but go back home. Go back. You're on one foot right now. Go back home and help Tobago. And I want to ask a question.
Go ahead,
At the PNM and an independent, start a campaign in my area. Them start to entrench themselves. I want a number so that I could go and register my candidate. Because if they feel, they in a lot, I want to do that very soon because I've seen how they pong in the ground, Every day they pong in the ground through Sentence, Cascade, Hololo, Belmont, Mova. They pong in the ground. They're on the ground. And they mustn't tell themselves that seat valid to them. They must not. That seat, I take that seat already from, and I want to take it back. Because the man who they take it and get to, hiding up to now. He like Adam hiding in the garden.
Name, Kola, what's the MP name?
Huh?
What's the MP for that area name?
We want to know where to go and register so that we could be in on that. They can't put no trench inside our area. They mustn't be able to dig in and entrench themselves. We as fighters, they must not be able to dig in inside out here at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Cascade. Take that call one time on the way. Welcome, Gola.
Again, Mr. Roberts, talking against everybody. Mr. Roberts, I want to ask through your media a question with agency. I want to know if agency has changed their policy to provide land and houses to low income and first time owners, or are they engaging real estate, giving people land for other people to buy? Because who's goings and comings and all kind of thing we hear buying land from this one who have agency. I want to know if agency is engaging in that for particular people. Go on and have a nice night.
Thank you. So let me tell you what is happening, they call her. The bottom line to this is when you have a man like Foster Cummins who have the authority, who really give the authority as a member of parliament, you have to understand that there is serious allegations that is laid against Foster Cummins. And until Foster Cummins and the PNM answer to the allegations that is before the country, we will not know exactly what is happening. It seems as though that the policies of all these institutions, that they are changed by word of mouth by whoever is in authority, whoever is there at the helm. Because if you want to examine what is happening, you could, we'd rather read and spell, you could see what is happening. Watch the allegation with Foster, watch the land in Kuva, watch the building, watch what is happening, watch the file that is rest down, the file that didn't send, that was not sent to the DPP, rest down on a shelf, a file that went before the Prime Minister, who does not have the authority to prosecute. Why the file wasn't sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, who is the man to bring charges or to ask for further investigation? You have Jacob standing up now and talking about the investigation ongoing. Since 2019, since 2018, since 2020, since 2022 and going, all you're hearing from them is investigation continuing. We have investigation with fake oil. We have investigation with Camille Robinson wages with $143,800. We have investigation with Inez Gate where we only get over 400,000 off. We have investigation, and that is all we keep hearing. Investigation. According to my son, investigation my foot. What is the what action will be taken against these people?
And Victor, I hear any passionate voice and I'm going to match you because I get angry too. Let me tell you this, right? Trinidad and Tobago. I have a message for Mr. Jacob, McDonald Jacob. Sir, you are the acting commissioner of police. This is an independent office, free from interference from the political forces. Mr. Jacob, the citizens are crying out to you, sir. Do your job, please. please do your job. We had this special branch report lying down. We don't know if it was your office, Mr. Jacob, or some senior soup office, but it only surfaced recently. But instead of explaining the contents of the report, we have people trying to shoot the messenger. So it's a big diversion. You want to find out how the report was leaked. And I saw Mr. Jacob on the papers today stating he's so disappointed in the leak of the report. But Mr. Jacobs, what are we doing with the content of the report?
Let me interject. Jacob, you had the audacity to speak about you disappointed with the leak. Jacob, we disappointed with you. You's a failure. You feel we disappointed with you. What number you was on the merit list? How you end up with that work? How you end up there? You end up there because of political interference. So if we disappointed with you, you disappointed with leak. Boy, look, we are breaking this country. We are breaking this country. All earlier sucking up to the political directorate. All earlier holding positions because of the interfering and interfacing, the mashing up at the Police Service Commission. You talking about you disappointed? So we disappointed in you. Boy, look, go and sleep here. Take that call. Go and sleep, yes. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Victor. Good evening, Sapras. Good evening,
Good evening, sir.
Okay, where's the vibe? El Socorro anyhow. Yeah? So, I agree with the topic of discussion. I agree with your son, Victor. Investigation, my foot. You remember when we had when our brilliant Prime Minister Bus come up with these stupid emails? I remember the brilliant Prime Minister Kamala and Barry and a lot of UNC members had was to walk with the computers in their hand by the police headquarters in Port of Spain there and like they treat them like they're guilty before they even innocent. You understand? And like with these people, exactly what you just mentioned, investigation is continuing. Investigations continuing. Ongoing. Inquiries are ongoing. What about the investigation with Das, PC Das? Or other policemen and all these other things where they're covering up all these allegations and everybody seems to be against the UNC. Everybody. So the PMs do nothing wrong. Now another thing, right? On TV6 at 6 p.m. it have two clowns, right? Two old fowls who will go at wit's end to defend this kind of foolishness. And they only have mouth for the UNC in indirect fashion. You know what I'm talking about. I'll leave it there. Right? Here's now. You remember the blimp? Victor?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you remember the blimp?
Yeah.
Guys, so remember Patrick Malin said that the blimp was a intelligence thing from sort and had technology in your bedroom and you sit at the dead opposition. So spyware is nothing new to Trinidad and Tobago. They had the blimp from so long and was so-called spyware and they spy on nobody. And when they spy on everybody apparently with these blimps and they ain't get nothing on nobody. Right? They couldn't get that on camera, they couldn't get on Gabar, they couldn't get nothing on anybody. So this thing with Pegasus and Predator and thing, they could have it, they could spy on everybody's phone. My phone, your phone, Safra's phone, everyone, and you'll get nothing. So spyware is nothing different to anybody. In fact, you shouldn't be worried about that because policemen have shoot themselves in the foot already. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Kola. Let me tell you something in this country. Let me tell you something. We have, you see, I upset with this nonsense that Jacob talking about. He disappointed. We have a file that only considered to be classified and secretive. That only rests on a desk about a man who was a senator and so much allegation with corruption and wrongdoing. Only never bring it to the public domain. Some citizens, when the government supported and went to the parliament to pass the whistleblowing bill, you didn't expect that people would blow the whistle. Correct. We have something like this. A man who was a senator and the government, the prime minister, had information, had knowledge as to what was happening, and yet to the end of the day still took that gentleman and make him an MP, put him as a candidate to fight a seat, make him a minister. And Jacob, you talking about you disappointed? Boy, all there should be shame in this country. All there should be shame to sit down at the hem of the police service and have all these investigation from since back 2016, and to the end of the day, you ain't hearing nothing from all them out. Jacob, we disappointed with the $143,800 investigation with Camille Robinson wages, and we can't hear nothing about it. Jacob, we disappointed with the fake oil scandal, and to the end of the day, when Gary Griffith went out, he said that the investigation was live and we was waiting for some forensic man to come in from outside to go down to Catskill to conclude that investigation. We disappointed. Jacob, we disappointed with Rowley not disclosing on his forms for the Integrity Commission. Jacob, we disappointed with the Inez Gate, where Rowley get over 400,000 off as a gift, and to the end of the day, no investigation. Jacob, we disappointed in Bliss Prasad and the president that mash up the Police Service Commission, that give you the opportunity to sit in the chair, and if only had any shame, you would launch an investigation and put somebody before the court for misbehavior in public office. That is what you should be doing. You talking about you disappointed with a whistleblower who brought the evidence before this country so that we could know all the secretive high-level corruption that is being covered up by this government, and you disappointed. Boy, Jacob, look.
Vic, and the next thing, right? I want to tell it on today's papers. Mr. Jacob is saying there is a difference between evidence and information. Imagine this. So that report, where they're trying to discredit, apparently they're trying to discredit that Secret Service. That's special branch report.
Brother, let me tell you something with this government. Jacob had to sing for his supper. Jacob like a sikie. You know them little sikie bird? He had to just eat right fig and sing for his supper. Because let me tell you something. Jacob, they will never conform you. They will use it like a tool, like a spanner, and they will never conform you. You just only to break nut and tighten nut. Anything that the political directorate want you to do, that is what you have to do. Jacob, you feel the rest of them men in the police service have respect for you? You feel that respect for you? You fire everybody that Gary Griffith bring, and you keep your family. Everybody is sent home, but you keep your family. You figure they have respect for you, Jacob? Boy, Jacob, nobody in this country have respect for you. Well, let me take back that. I have no respect for you as an acting commissioner of police, because if you wanted to get rid of the workers that Gary Griffith bring, then where you keep your children? Why your children there? Boy, all these jokers in this country, boy. You figure police have respect for you? Police have no respect for you. Police just tolerating you because they have a salary to get. You talking about you disappointed? You know about policing? You know about solving crime? You know anything about investigation? I sure if they do a good search on you, you may be getting the police service in the days when boroughs used to just take you when you're looking big and strong, yes? All these jokers, jokers.
Vic, I want to make an appeal to Mr. Jacob, right? On behalf of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Jacob, whenever Fitzgerald Hines started to talk about PNM this and PNM that, and you sharing a table with the man, Mr. Jacobs, you are the acting commissioner of police. The right thing for you to do is stand up and leave. Because the police commissioner, acting police commissioner, for that matter, any police, has no role to play in any political platform. Especially when we have this Minister of National Insecurity coming to bump him out about PNM this and PNM that, and you on the same table. Mr. Jacobs, your office is independent. Please respect the office.
Well, while I hear you loud and clear, my brother, I like how you see his office is independent.
Right.
But I want to say his office should be independent. Because let me tell you why I'm saying that, brother. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. If I was Jacob, I never take that appointment based on what happened with the Police Service Commission. Never take the call. Never take that appointment. Welcome, caller.
Yes, sorry to call you again. One of the last bastions of institutional independence in this country here. This stands at the summit of our court system. Is the Privy Council. You have no other independent in Trinidad and Tobago. All of them have been tainted, right? When they were talking about going to the Caribbean Court of Justice, you have to put the pinnacle, you have to put the Privy Council. These people hand long and they destroy everything. So the question about talking about police and everybody, I mean, years now people know that there's no independence there. You had the whole question of the Attorney General, where you had police, the anti-corruption bureau under the Attorney General, which in itself conflicts with again, the separation of powers. It conflicts with that. And I remember the DPP, and I think it's the South, the oil and whatnot chamber in the South down there, they call on the Attorney General to remove the anti-corruption bureau from under the Attorney General. That was in total conflict with the whole question of, if you go back to the case of Endel Thomas and the Attorney General, where he political influence and that kind of thing, and they had to beg him to remove it, eventually he removed it. So I'm saying the question of independent institution in Trinidad and Tobago, that has no meaning. And it's the last bastion that we have here is the Privy Council. If you go to England, you realize recently with Boris Johnson, you had allegation made and a whistleblower and all these things coming up and talk about this Partygate, and he was investigated and he was charged. You had the opposition leader Stammer. He was also he's under investigation. The police, not I, not you, who investigated or go to the police tell they did an investigation. That is the special branch, and they tell you that there's a possible. You, the police, had to go ahead and investigate. That is your responsibility. That is your mandate. So the question about sending the document or whatever, the report to the Prime Minister and all that is just plain foolishness. They came to your attention and you have a duty to investigate.
Well, I am very correct. Thank you for your call. You hit the mark on the head there.
Thank you very much, caller. And that is the same thing. And as you mentioned that, let me touch this one time. Jacob, what is the position with the file with Faris Alwari children? Wanted that file?
Yeah.
You're talking about the disappointed. Wanted that file? Or there's a bunch of jokers, boy. Jokers.
And let me alert Trinidad and Tobago to this situation here. Again in today's papers. Paula Gopi's school son. Where we know as Schoon Gate. Right, when he had the boxing day party. And Faris calling police station. And thank the almighty, the policeman put him on speaker. And let him say we had to say, Faris say we had to say that in his opinion, that is not a matter. Why was the then Attorney General trying to interfere or allegedly trying to interfere in a police that something was developing into a police investigation?
But that is how they cover the tracks.
So the other thing I want to tell you, any papers today, do you know that the state has not appointed a state counsel to be assigned to that case as yet? The judge give them a blind and say, well, I know the judge basically saying, well, I know this process will take a while, so I'm giving only 5 months to get all your business in order.
But nothing,
imagine that.
Nothing coming out. Take this call. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Victor! El Sikoro back in the house. Good evening, Saffron. Good evening, Kogi. On a broader topic, right? So, we have Mr. Jacob, right? Now, Mr. Jacob has a law degree, he's a lawyer, right? Registered lawyer, and then to the bar and whatever. And a lot of other professionals who own these state boards, right? So if you look at Mark Loquan, Jerry Brooks, and Farrell, all these people who pass through state boards, right? People, right? But you notice, and they seem like good people outside of politics, and right? Even down to the president. But you notice, as soon as they touch their finger with this PNM, right? If you not party, that cult, they just dirty their name, they just damage their reputation for life. You notice that?
I know Joe caller.
Yeah, right. And what there something? If I have 5 CXC passes, I will never do anything for PNM, for the government on a whole, or anything close to the political directorate, because and you realize that anybody who passes the PNM, once he, like for example, Robert Lahunt, he's the next one. The minute he talks to Rowley about WASA, he was to run, go and find our next work. Right? So anybody who value their reputation, their resume, and the integrity, they should never accept any appointment on behalf or any state board or any state enterprise on behalf of the PNM, like government said, the PNM, because once they do what they want, they will destroy it for life.
Thank you, my brother.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right. So let we suspending the calls for now. I want my brother Safras to finish up his discourse here. So brother, back to you as we
Trinidad and Tobago, I am hearing the cries, I am hearing the calls coming in, and basically the people are crying out for better governance, Victor.
Yeah.
That's the feedback we get in here, and we feeling the pain from our outside into our microphones, boy Victor. First time I experiencing it like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
People literally crying outside here. And there's only one solution, you know. When the opportunity comes, we have to make that difference. We have to make that difference. You taking it?
No, got it.
Okay, nice. So basically, let me just close off this discussion on agriculture real quickly, right?
Yeah.
We was talking about Carney Green, and I was telling you guys and the nation that Carney Green had a plan to develop 500 acres of rice land in Felicity. Rice would have been king for us right now. We would not have been importing rice had this been in play. This was a plan under the Carney Green Company, which was formed by the UNC government. There was another plan to develop hundreds and hundreds of acres of abandoned cocoa plantations. Everybody knows that Trinidad cocoa is the number one. What is the highest quality cocoa in the world, right? Unlike Faris, who thought chocolate was growing on a tree. In very fruitful soils too. Yeah. So you have to have a fruitful soil to get chocolate to grow on the tree. Well done, Faris Arawi. Fully done. Right? So anyway, coming back to the cocoa has been abandoned, literally decimated under this PNM government. Right? PNM, they don't like the cocoa industry. Citrus, we don't even talk about citrus as yet. You don't even see orange selling again properly again, or putigal, a nice. Well, last eat a nice sweet putigal, boy, Victor, boy. Well, last. Very soon our children might even know them fruits on them again. Yeah. The rate this PNM is decimating everything. But let me just close off on agriculture by stating, because of the wickedness and the spite of the PNM government in closing down things that were working under the UNC government.
Yeah.
For example, Carney Green. I told you all the accomplishments Carney Green had and were going to do. They come and close it down. What was the reason? We know the reason. Spite. Same thing with the Cuba Hospital. They didn't open it until they were forced by God himself sending COVID to Trinidad, and he had to open it.
No choice.
They had no choice but to open it. Wickedness. Let me tell you something, Victor. Let me close off here. Well, we coming close to closing off, right?
Well, I want to give you the next 15 minutes,
right,
to talk about what is happening in
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph.
Right. So, as I said, the Honorable Political Leader Kamla Prasad Bisasa, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, listen to me carefully. I had the opportunity to be in the audience of Kamla Prasad Bisasa yesterday, and Anil Roberts, and Rudal Munilal, and Barry Padarat. We had a dynamic meeting yesterday, that Monday night forum. Yeah. Victor, I felt the energy coming out. After I came out of that meeting, I felt we could change Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, ready to run.
For positive, in a positive direction. Our leader is strong, our leader is humble, our leader is caring. She is ready, she is willing to unite everybody again. People,
tell them again now.
People, we are ready, the leader is ready. She is opening the party for everybody to come back, and there's a role and place for everybody. Whether you get vexed, whether you didn't get vexed, we need to do this for our country. Please, I'm begging all you. I have a daughter, right? I have a daughter. I'm not sure what my daughter is going to do because the opportunity is so limited now in Trinidad, and the tuition, UE is planning to carry up the price of tuition, right? Very soon our children will not be able to go in universities again. This will be like in the 80s under the PNM. People, Trinidad and Tobago, all you wake up, please wake up. Let us do it for our children. Forget ourselves now. We lived our life already and still living our life, yes. But we had to make it better for our children and their children. Can you imagine what our children's future will be if the PNM continue to hold power and mashing up our country? People, I'm begging you, put God back in your thoughts. Start to pray hard and get back the love for your country. Take all the spite and the malice you have. Whatever it is you had against Kamla or Rudal Munilal or this one or that one. People, the United National Congress is the only vehicle that will beat the PNM coming and going. I'm telling you. No questions asked. There is no place for a third party. No place for a third party except that they will be dividing the votes in the marginals and you're giving the PNM a free pass to go back in power again. Can you picture our country under the PNM for another 5 years between 2025 to 2030? By then we might even have a Trinidad and Tobago to talk about again. Because they will be plundering our wealth so much so that when they fix themselves up and they migrate and they go live Canada and they go live in the United States, there's nothing left for our children to live for again in Trinidad.
Correct.
It will be so desolate and barren. It's like a curse over Trinidad and Tobago now. All people of all faiths, I'm begging you, put your hands up like this and start to pray and let us unite in our hearts, unite in our minds, and the power lies with the people. The power lies with the people. We can make that change, but we need to want that change in our heart first. The Islamic principle I was telling them about.
Yeah.
You need to feel the pain in your heart, and then the next level you talk about it, and then the next level you do it with your hands after. Not violence, you know.
Yeah.
But when that opportunity comes for that local government, vote them out in all corporations. Let Rowley see that the people suffering so much. That hunger doesn't discriminate between PNM and UNC. When somebody hungry, they're hungry. And they haven't eaten for days a proper meal. When children going through violence in their home, they have no UNC or PNM and that the children getting licks because the parents are frustrated. Because the opportunities are no longer available under this PNM because they shut down the refinery. We don't have any more jobs again. We importing gas. We cannot afford to pay for gas again. You cannot afford to carry a family for a Sunday evening drive again, boy Victor. Because you have to save your gas to go to work for the rest of the week.
If you have a work too.
If you have a work to go to. You understand? That is still at a level that we have to watch we gas levels now because we cannot afford to fill up our tanks again. Victor, I fill up my tank halfway now. I don't have money to fill up my tank again, full tank again.
Today I passed by a tire shop just to find out the price of tires in my van. And from $1,200, $1,500 now.
$1,200 to $1,500 for a tire.
$1,500 for one tire. And that is how the thing going. But be that as it may, so tell us some of the latest development that is taking place in...
So guys, I am so happy to bring the news to you that St. Joseph, under the leadership of Kamala Prasad-Bisesa, she will have selected Anna Roberts, Senator the Honorable Anna Roberts, to be the coordinator. And so far, Victor, we have had 5 walkabouts in the different areas so far. And the feedback, well, you can see it on Facebook, on douglAR Politics, on the UNC St. Joseph page, on the chairman, Amit Suknanan, Jalen Rupnarayan, myself, Vishnu Kunkun. We all publish it in our different Facebook pages also, but the UNC Facebook page, St. Joseph page, is very active. And you can see all the developments there. We have had 5 walks through the different communities at St. Joseph, and the response has been phenomenal. You know the soca song, Phenomenal?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Better we play that song while we walking. Because everybody coming together. We fed up, the citizens fed up. As a man, we had a crime walk. We had a crime, we have a very functioning ladies' arm at the executive. And that ladies' arm organized a candlelight vigil 2 Fridays ago. And while we walking, we had a crowd of about 50 people in white walking along Aranga's main road to the top of the savannah there. And while we walking, a group of youths, African youths in a car, driving by and they stop and they say, brother, what going on here? I said, brother, if I tell you what's going on here, you will want to come and join us. He said, what do you mean? I said, brother, right now, we don't have no jobs. Right now, crime all over the place in Arangwes and all over the country. Right now, there is no hope for the youths. I said, brother, you working? Anybody in our car working? He said, no, nobody working. And they say, you know what? They say, I say, at least on that Kamla Prasad beside, I say everybody was eating a little bit of food. It might not be much, but everybody was eating our food, Jeffrey. On that PNM, Rowley say he want to make the rich get richer. So only the rich eat any food. And the little crumbs falling down for the little contractors and them. But other than that, the majority of the youths don't have nothing outside there. And the fellas in the car, when I break it down like that, they say, brother, you're right, we're ready to join up with all you.
Yeah.
And move out PNM and Rowley because they're too wicked on the poor people. They're too that blasted wicked and they arrogant about it too. It's like they take their shoe and mash in the citizens' neck in the ground and say, we raise the price of gas yet. We raising the price of gas and what are they going to do about that? 5 times they raise the price of gas on me. 5. And we just had to take that so.
So the response is great. Added to that, how is the senator keeping up on the walk?
Right, the man real fit, boy. I say, boy, Anna, you have to come and be my personal coach because I lose some belly here too. He said, yeah, man, that. But Anna is somebody who is on time. He's very organized, and I'm watching him carefully. And Anna is for the people. I saw, you see, Anna had the experience of being the MP for W. Mira. Plus, he was the Minister of Sports, so he has that experience, and he knows how to serve people. To empower people, right? So he bring that skill set to St. Joseph now, and the people are recognizing that, hey, Anna is not no joker, boy. Anna is a serious man come to represent the people of St. Joseph, which we have been crying out for proper representation. This clown we have, D.L. Singh, but that better a man go home and start to cry. He might be better in crying than serving the people.
But I didn't carry a cough in the film. I thought he'd come and lie down in it. I thought I said Jeffrey feel like down in that coffin there we told to them we carry them straight down and arrest him down by the Red House, but he ain't coming in it.
Yeah, listen now, bro. Over 3,800 people died of COVID. And that man still patting himself on his back to say he did a good job, you know. 3,800 families will be without a loved one.
Yeah, never to see them again.
Never to see them again. My ex-wife, right? Her mother. Within the space of 4 days, boy, Victor, get that thing and died and passed away. It was too late. It was too late, and the horror stories in the hospital. She was begging me the first 2 days, don't carry she in the hospital because the tents. She keep hearing the horror stories with the tents where people on a tent for a day waiting before they can be placed in a hospital or in a bed. She begged me, but you had to we carried her. And within 3 days after she succumbed. Within 2 days after she succumbed. So this joker we have as D.L. Singh, 3,800 plus people would have died. They took long in getting the vaccines up front. The Pfizer that and Samakal would have graciously offered them. How much it was? 300,000 or 500,000 vaccines in the early part of the game. In the early part when COVID now started. They said nah. And all Samakal was asking for was just a tax write-off. Write off with tax and you don't have to pay for the vaccine. Write off with taxes and equivalent to the cost of the vaccine.
I think these guys had their plan, they fulfill their mission, they get the
vaccine.
They get the money.
Means to get something.
They get the money and they're satisfied with that. But the people of the country now, I think it's the ideal time for us to do what we have to do because it just cannot continue. School violence is something that I am putting on the front burner, and I am telling you tonight that very soon I will be taking some action in relation to those school violence, and I'm talking about very soon. So Rowley, you could have your boys and them monitor because when I say very soon, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. So very soon some action going to be coming because we just cannot continue with what is happening in this country. We have to take a stand, and that stand will be coming very soon. It will be coming in a very small way, but expect after the small way, the way will be very huge. But we have to do what we have to do. So you all making inroads in St. Joseph. That is great news. Tonight I want to encourage every other constituency. Let us take that pattern. Let us take the momentum because that momentum is needed throughout the country.
Yes.
And A couple of weeks ago, I said something, and some people took offense and so on. But be that as it may, to the end of the day, there is a lot of people who is disenchanted, and we have a responsibility to go to the people and to show them why it is of great necessity to come out in your numbers and vote on policy. This is not, we are the place here now where you cannot no longer vote for somebody you like.
And you can't be sitting on the fence either. You have to make a decision for your children, for your elderly, that look, we want change, we want positive growth, we never see Trinidad suffer so much. We cannot continue like this. If you like how Trinidad going right now, well, that is you living on that rock, and better you stay on that rock. Don't bother to come out.
Yeah.
The rest of the right thinking citizens, we hate how our country is going, Victor. Victor, you want a better future for your kids. I want a better future for my kids. The thousands of people outside there want a better future for their kids, and therefore we need to do something. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Activate your heart. Activate your mind. Victor, and very importantly, you said that, what the UNC, they say, well, what the UNC doing about it? Mm-hmm. That is not the question to be asking yourself, brothers and sisters. It's what you are doing about it. Because the power lies with you.
Recently, someone tell me, Kamla need to give somebody else a chance. I say, all right, okay, I hear you, right? Mm-hmm. Give me one factor why she should give somebody else a chance. Here the man tell me she age. I say, where's your old age?
Yeah.
Where's your old age? Why you didn't tell? And that is the kind of idiotism that people just come with and tell me about. Kamla need to step down and give somebody else a chance. And
Victor.
And I am telling you, that is a PNM thinking, and I want to tell you why.
Media, the PNM and the media propagating that she age. But I tell you, I was with the lady last night, right? And a little audience with her, and the lady is strong. She is ready, vibrant, ready to take our country back again into prosperity.
Let me tell you something. I don't care if Kamla have 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And she bringing policies to benefit and to move the country forward. Let me tell you something. She could sit down on a chair and vote in.
But Victor,
yes.
Victor, based on track record, the lady did it.
And that is what I concern about.
Performance.
That is what I concern about.
Police stations built, schools built, hospitals built, Children Life Fund, expansion of the school feeding program, laptop program for everybody. We'd run that laptop here. We'd have be good at online. We'd have be good on our online platform. But Rowley and the wickedness stop it. And now he had shame. He had no shame to be posing with 35 laptops in the office.
They may say what I want to say, nah? but sometimes you see all them laptops, they should be overcharged.
Yeah.
They should be overcharged. And when he stand up in front of them laptop there, they should be overcharged.
Them real bad talk that laptop thing.
Yeah, boy.
Brother,
brother,
let me tell you something. These people is sick individuals. I keep telling all you because we have to go.
Yep.
I keep telling all you that this government is not about the lower class. This government is not even about what we had, that we don't have anymore, the middle class. This government is about the elites. And once the elites make money, this government believe that they will always stay in power. Because what they do is propaganda. I am telling you that there is a mission. There is a mission. Jeffrey, mark my words tonight. There is a mission to lock up one or two individuals within the UNC. And that mission is a mission to stay in power. That is a mission that is being fabricated, because I'm going to tell you something, you will see information even from the same bureau that was under Faris Al-Rawi office, where the caller speaks about there cannot be any independency, and that whole unit was compromised once that unit was headed and sitting under the office of the Attorney General. The anti-corruption unit sitting under the Attorney General for this long period of time, it is a clear case of contamination.
Correct.
It's a case where the politicians will devise and use strategies to do what they have to do against their opponent. This kit, SRP kit that comes to our country, this is not by guess. This is a political move. This is a move that the government is making to try to convince the people of this country that they are on track. And they don't care what it costs. They don't care how much money that they will have to pay in mitigation down the road. That is not important. What is important to this government is they want to prove a point. And that is where we will very well have to leave it. I want to thank you, my brother, for being here.
Yep.
Rest assured that you will be invited again.
Yep.
Rest assured. Listeners, we want to thank you for your calls, and we ask you to continue to join this program. Make your calls, make your contribution in the interest of country. This is what it is about. So I'll ask my friend with his closing words here to wrap us up. I am saying good night. I am out.
Well, Vic, I just want to thank you as a warrior. Victor, which party could have an African from Labre in the set with an East Indian from St. Joseph uniting together for the benefit of our country? Not for party, for the benefit of our country. Boy, Victor, my paw is starting to raise now, brother. Because it's true unity, brother.
Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down, keep it down.
You understand? Thank you for the opportunity, brother.
Yeah, don't worry.
And with the fighters on.
You will be back here.
Yeah, now I say the hunters on, I am saying the fighters on, because we're fighting for the people's rights. Thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago. Take care, God bless.
Nice, man. So we want to thank you, Trinidad and Tobago, as always. Keep joining. Remember, douglAR Politics tomorrow night at 7:30. We'll be crossing over. I will be here from 6:15, and we'll be crossing over at 7:30, where the Honorable Arnel Roberts will come to you with the facts and the latest as to what is happening within our country. I want you not to forget what is going on within this government, not to forget the corruption, not to forget this man who talked about he disappointed, this Jacob. Jacob, let me tell you something. Arnel couldn't put it better. You better just keep walking and shake up. Yes, how the song go? They tell me don't walk with Jacob because Jacob does walk and shake up. Boom, 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 boom. We out of here.
But we're not going to play that one now. We're going to play this. Watch it.
Go ahead.
UNC for a day. Rowdy at a go, Rowdy at a go. PNM must go, Rowdy at a go, Rowdy at a go. Tell them go, Rowdy at a go, Rowdy at a go. PNM must go, Rowdy at a go.
This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks. We're bringing out all the big guns. First, we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable deputy political leader, Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Arnel Roberts, and yours truly, Marshall Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Wear your yellow, wear your red, wear your pink, your blue, your green, your purple, your tie-dye. It don't matter. It's one family, one Trini family. Come. Diego Martin, Maraval, Carenage, Blue Basin, Bagatelle, Big Yard, Westmoreland, Bayshore. Everybody under the sun united. Well, in this case, it will be under the moon. This Thursday, 12th of May, TT Speaks rolls into Diego Martin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Diego Martin South Community Center. Looking forward to being around each other, getting to know each other. We want to hear from you, and you will hear from us. We will set some records straight this Thursday. See you there. This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks, we bringing out all the big guns. First we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable Deputy Political Leader, Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Anil Roberts, and yours truly, Marsha Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Wear your yellow, wear your red, wear your pink, your blue, your green, your purple, your tie-dye. It don't matter. It's one family, one Trini family. Come. Diego Martin, Maraval, Carenage, Blue Basin, Bagatelle, Big Yard, Westmoreland, Bayshore. Everybody under the sun united. Well, in this case, it will be under the moon. This Thursday, 12th of May, TT Speaks rolls into Diego Martin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Diego Martin South Community Center. Looking forward to being around each other, getting to know each other. We want to hear from you, and you will hear from us. We will set some records straight this Thursday. See you there. This Thursday, me and my UNC family rolling into Diego Martin. TT Speaks, we bringing out all the big guns. First we have Chief Whip David Lee. Then we have the indomitable, the indomitable Deputy Political Leader, Jerlene John is on the lineup. We have Eli Zakur, Sterling Chase, Randall Patterson, and of course the fiery Senator Damian Lyder. How I will forget our host, Anil Roberts, and yours truly, Marsha Walker. Oh gosh, wait, more to come. We have the leader of opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark. Only hearing all them names, you had to be there. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Thursday, 12th of May, 2022. Diego Martin South Community Center. That's the big orange building opposite True Value on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard. Wear your yellow